From days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolf, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Hey guys, it's Friday and it's time to waste some brain cells on this channel. Howdy ho, everybody, because it's still the most wonderful time of the year, and thank you all for joining in on the most wonderful type of channel that there should be on YouTube and or Rumble or both. So, I am your host, the Comic Relief Crusader, ready to divulge some information in the entertainment industry and do what we do best, which is make fun of it, because, God, we need to put a big laugh on everything that's out there today, don't we? Yes. Yes, I think we do. So, let's invite some of our panelists today, shall we?
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Pop Culture Republic, how's it going, my friend?
Oh, it's going well. Or
Is
oh, another
I'm
great
glad you
day.
get a chuckle out of that.
Yep.
So, what you been up to?
Oh, same old. Keeping busy, trying to do the YouTube stuff. You know.
Same crap, different day.
That's right.
Nice. And bringing on to the panel, we got Appion. How's it going, dude?
Hello.
Hello.
Going quite well, good sir. Quite
Oh,
well.
very,
Hello.
very good. Very good.
Good
I'm
indeed.
glad to hear it.
Indeed. Very proper.
How's your week been going?
Going quite well indeed. No,
Is
it's
it?
going good.
Nice. And bringing last but not least onto the panel here, everybody's favorite illiterate New Yorker, Teague. How's it going, dude?
What is thy bidding, my master?
Just do it.
You join us
do
or
it.
be destroyed. Appion could be a powerful asset.
I'm afraid
If he could be
will-
turned,
will be quite operational when your friend arrives.
we're
If he
quite
could-
safe here,
Yeah,
from your
if he could be
pitiful
turned, he's already got
band.
he's already got the death sticks.
Yep.
He's already smoking death sticks, so he's already
Obi-Wan
on
couldn't
the
get me
path
off
to the
those
dark
death
side.
sticks.
Oh,
Anakin, you're on the wrong path. You need to rethink your life.
He tried to say, you don't want to sell me death sticks. I was like, that doesn't work on the weak-minded master. I'm good.
yeah, exactly.
All right, then, give me some of those death sticks and let me see those pictures on your phone you have of Padme.
This
Yeah,
is very
exactly.
strong THC death
Oh.
sticks, master.
Oh, God.
Just give me your phone and shut the fuck up.
Excellent. And I want to thank everybody that's
Oh
here in the
my
chat.
God,
I wanna
Anakin,
say-
what were you thinking doing this to her?
I want to say hello to Dark Helmet. Cha-ching! Swings open doors and looks as a tumbleweed flows into the door. Walks and sits down in the back by himself with some rot gut whiskey and crayons. I hope they're the kind of self-insert crayons. So welcome, Dark Helmet. And Wendy, Trauma Warrior, nods at Dark Helmet and sits down. So it looks like those two are getting along because she takes a drink of Coke, wishing it had vodka in it. Hello there. And our friend, the geeky classic leftist, Tom. How's it going, dude? I hope you are feeling better. So Tom couldn't join us today. He's got some things that he must take care of in a very urgent matter. Yeah, so I'm just hoping my bro Tom that everything gets well for you pretty soon, and hopefully we will see you next week. So, and I'm glad that you're here. So let's see, Phantom Outsider, how's it going, my man? Nice to see you here today. Radioactive also in the chat. Hail Radioactive. And Sci-Fi Mumby, hello to you. Nice to see you here in the chat. So and we got Mrs. Dadman. Hi, Mrs. Dadman.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey there.
Nice to see you here. Awesome to see you here. Everybody, check out Mrs. Dadman, especially her morning musings with Mrs. Dadman show. So
she is our angel of the morning.
Exactly. That's right. So everybody check out Mrs. Dadman's show. So she just hit over 100 as well. So she's doing actually quite well.
Piling on the subs very quickly. Very, very quickly. Way to go.
I know. And who else have we got? We got Melted Copper in the worlds of the wise and stellar Richard Flair. Woo! So I just had to do that.
I like how you call him Richard.
Exactly. And of course, Thomas Haley Creations is using this account today too. So there you go. And what?
Very proper indeed.
Yes, very, very proper. So we also got Ray Lucard. So hey to you, Ray Lucard. Astroneer, ever see Let's Game It Out playthrough? Yeah, you know what, dude? I saw that. I'm gonna check that out because somebody else had told me about it. So very interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. So and Wes Cagle just dropped in. Hello, Wes Cagle. Hello to you. And Mrs. Dadman, yes, you are very, very welcome for the kind words. So, well deserved. And I'm glad that things are going well for you on your channel. So, with the Lego builds and the morning musings. So so let's kick off the Friday there. And hello, and you're here anyway, Avion. So I'm just gonna say hey to you again. So
Got him.
I clicked it. It's like, damn it. Okay, he caught me. So
keeping you on your toes there.
I just want to say
exactly.
There's something in the air today. It's on the air in the internet today. I can feel. Listen, this could be a great day for everybody because I just saw a situation where there were two shows on doing pretty much the exact same thing, right? And between them, they sustained the same amount of people at like a really high amount.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And it's stuff that's in our wheelhouse.
It's like we've been waiting for this moment our whole lives.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
The dawn is coming.
And if I also knew that you were drowning, I would not lend a hand. Because this could be the first time. The last time
it's Christmas
we've ever met.
And I want to say also hail to Wes Cagle, that's on Rumble as well. So, and I just want to say to everybody that's not on the Rumble channel, check out the Rumble channel, sign up, and check us out also on Rumble. So in case things go south here on the YouTubes, there's always the Rumble channel to check out. So
that's right.
So
although experience has shown that it's far more likely things will go south on Rumble first, as far as
more than likely.
But we have freedom of speech there that we don't have here.
Exactly. And hail to Diesel that just dropped in. Thanks, Diesel. Yeah, great hanging out with you last night. We got to get together and hardcore geek out on Transformers again, brother. You are 100% correct, dude. So thanks for jumping on in. I really appreciate it. So yeah, we had a great discussion on the Common Nerds channel. So last night it just happened to drop in and it was awesome. It was awesome. Go check out the Common Nerd. Yeah. He's a really
Right
cool
on.
guy. Really, really cool guy. So, and Diesel as well. Yes. So, because I can't forget Diesel because we geeked out together on this channel just for a few minutes or so. Anyway, as we do on this channel, we go through some of the stupid news of the week that I can find and peruse out there.
Uh-oh.
So,
I
yes.
don't know
So
if I'm
let's
ready
get
for this.
That's right. You are totally 100% ready, my brother. So let's get into the stupid news of the week. So that's out. I'm going to bring this up here for everybody to get a good laugh here. This on stupid
Brace
news of the week.
yourselves. Incoming.
Exactly. By the Daily
Incoming.
Mail. So, a woman who got pregnant sues an IVF clinic for wrongly implanting a male, not female, embryo from her wife used during an IVF and gave birth to a son and likened having male fetus inside her to rape.
All right, listen, I just want to say this for a minute. Fuck this woman, and I'm glad that this child will be put up for adoption. I really
Yes,
am,
more than
because
likely.
she doesn't want it. And this doctor who fucked up that bad will be out of business. And like, God help us, he's going to go back into general medicine, which is a horror
Yep.
story. But
Yep.
I just want to say this. Don't take this the wrong way. She did order a Big Mac.
Yes,
and she got
exactly.
the McNuggets.
And I'm going to say hail to
no.
Goatfather. So,
Hi,
hail to
buddy.
you. Yo, well, Jordan,
Yeah,
time to see stupid news of the week. Oh boy, this ought to be fun. Yeah, it is.
It's
man.
all stupid.
Not all people should get
I
pregnant.
still don't believe that you don't fabricate these fucking stories just to make me angry.
Oh.
Like what next? Zack Snyder wins most believable character creator award.
Exactly, Ray. Oh my God, what the
Yeah.
frick? Exactly. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
well, you know what?
This
You
is
know
the
what? To
kind
be
of
honest,
story I come to expect from the Daily Mail, of course. But even then,
Yeah.
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm
It
going to say
is.
right now. Wait, here's the thing: if you're trying to win in court, your lawyer tells you to say that.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So it's like, what do I have to work with? She's a lesbian. There's a man. Oh, so like that's just
Yeah.
like the filthy mind of like, and like it takes a lot of low lifery to chase ambulances.
Like,
But
like
that's
kudos
that's
on
a
her for
winning
wanting
legal
to
thing
have
to
a
say.
Child. Yeah. But, I mean,
Yeah.
kudos to her for
And she
wanting to
did
have a
order the
child,
Big Mac.
but
no, she did
yes.
order the Big Mac.
Exactly. But to blame a child that's in the womb to saying that basically
Yeah.
It
and I gotta
sounds
watch myself
horrible.
it does.
It sounds
but, I mean,
horrible,
come
but I
on.
know why they did it. I know why
Yeah.
legally. It's like this. If God, this is so horrible, but this is the world we've made for ourselves, and I'm just here because I have to comment on it.
Yeah.
These people bought
It's
a Big Mac and they got
Yep.
the nuggets, and
Yeah.
they're like, and even the nugget sauce was wrong. That's like. They're going to get a lot of money. This doctor's malpractice insurance, forget it. He's done, man. He's going to go he's going to be working at the prison hospital. Like that's he's lost his visiting privileges. He can never walk into another. This doctor is ruined.
Yep.
By the way,
Exactly.
you can tell this shit with a
Exactly.
microscope, so he should be. But in vitro fertilization is something like $10,000 a pop. They put in 3 or 4 at a time. So she went through hell getting this done, and harvesting the egg from the other chick, if that's what they did, that is a fucking nightmare. So like, it's not like they rolled the dice with artificial insemination.
Exactly.
You're gonna play, if you hang out a slate that says you're going to play God, you might
Yep.
have to answer to more than just civil authorities down the road in the next
That's
life.
right.
Hopefully nothing will happen to. I don't want anyone to do anything crazy here. This
No,
is
no,
like
no.
America.
Of
Like they
course.
made a child. This was not deleting a child. This was not evil.
That's
this is just like. I hope that what
stupid.
they said was just. But you have to
Yeah.
hope the stuff about grape was legal posturing, right?
Yeah, sci-fi mummy. Yeah,
You
that's
have to
just
hope
BS
that.
at its finest. Exactly.
'Cause she
exactly.
can't keep
I
that
don't even know
child.
what to say about this. This is crazy.
I say child
Yep,
services
dark,
needs to
yep.
look in on them when they have a girl. When they have a
That's
girl for the
right.
first couple of years, child services needs
Dark
to check
Helmet,
them
the
out every
s-
couple of
the
months.
stupid is strong with this one.
No,
Exactly.
these people don't
Rayla
have the
Card,
same
yeah,
right
isn't,
to have a child they did before they
no,
bought this suit. Now
isn't
CPS
this,
has to watch them. They should be held to the standards of an adopted family,
yeah,
someone who adopts, because CPS has to look in on them. These statements are on public record. I think that we
Yep.
understand why, maybe, but to say them at all,
yep,
now you've brought scrutiny on yourself.
We need to
yep,
institute those old Tamagotchis, those old little
yes,
things where you take care of that. And if you could take care of that, maybe
exactly.
you get a real baby.
That's
A
right.
pet
Yeah,
rock.
yeah. If
Or
you
a
can
chia
pass
pet.
that, yeah,
Maybe a
pet
fucking
rock,
chia
yeah.
pet.
Raylo Card, yeah. Isn't this an episode of Law and Order SVU? Exactly. And hail to Saber the Doom Squirrel that just dropped in. How's it going, dude? Yeah, this is just so wrong. Like, yeah, Wes Cagle, yeah, what the frig kind of story is this? I remember when we used to institutionalize crazy. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're 100% correct on that. So, Captain Phantom Nerd, hey, dude, how's it going, man? Nice to see you here.
And
So,
nutcases are running the asylum now.
Yeah.
that's right. Yep.
Well,
Thomas
this
Haley, if I'm not
douchebag
mistaken,
doctor
you
does
can't
his
really
job. None
decide,
of this shit happens, right?
or it's not a precise science. Exactly.
Right. It's not.
It
Yes.
might
precise
not be
science.
ethical. It might
That's-
not be ethical yet
You know?
to do this. None of to make a mistake this bad. Maybe we don't have the technology yet to do this ethically. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to quote a very famous doctor. I don't know a lot of science, but have you ever read Chaos Theory by Dr. Ian Malcolm?
Oh yeah, that from
Yeah,
Jurassic Park. Yeah,
in the forward,
I'll believe
I'm
him
gonna-
because he survived Tyrannosaurus Rex's
Dr.
like several
Kevorkian's
times
another
in a
good
row.
one.
Yeah,
Dr.
exactly,
Ian
right?
Malcolm is
So-
he also studied with Professor Buckaroo Banzai, who's a polymath. But Dr. Ian Malcolm, he said two things in that book, Chaos Theory. In the original book, he said life finds a way.
Oh,
And
there you go.
in
Brilliant.
the chapter he wrote in 1995 afterwards, where
Yeah.
he explained what happened on that island with his daughters, but never explained
No.
why that family looked that way. But in the book at the end of his book Chaos Theory, where he talks about his experience on La Isla Sorna, he says the scientists got so caught up in the fact that they didn't stop to think about whether or not they should.
Yeah.
And then,
Good father,
and then
yeah.
Samuel
I
Jackson got
100%
eaten.
agree with this. Yeah, she went through hell. Nah, just society having to deal with her as hell. Exactly. Right.
I think Samuel Jackson wrote about that in his memoir.
I think
You
so
know,
too. Yeah.
Samuel
Bye-bye,
L.
Robbie.
Jackson was in
Yeah,
charge
see,
of
I
IT
don't wanna-
there and
I don't wanna be
security. If
cruel,
he was no, but that's
this is
another
why
thing
some
that
people should
Samuel.
not be parents. Exactly.
Can I just add Jurassic Park to the fictional institutions destroyed by the incompetence of Samuel L. Jackson? He is
Yeah,
supposed to be in
probably.
charge of IT and security. The fences go down and he wrecks the whole fucking park. In the Jedi, he was like, I feel like the Emperor might be evil and that Anakin might be vulnerable. Let's put them together. I mean, he's a fucking terrible. Every fictional organization, S.H.I.E.L.D., they had helicopters. Now they have an occasional TV special. He has ruined every fictional organization except the drug dealing endeavor he had in Formula 51.
He even, if you want to go even
yes.
deeper, he gets everybody killed on Candyland Ranch and Django Unchained.
Yes,
Yes,
it fails
exactly,
at running the plantation as
That
the man
entire
behind the man
organization
than
burned to the
Django.
ground.
And
I
And
had
sci-fi,
that written
you're right,
down on my
there's
cue
so
card. It's
many
too edgy
couples
to
would be
say.
thrilled to
I
have
want
a son.
that. I let you say
Yep.
that one.
Yep. Very.
I
true.
can't
Exactly,
believe that you read
sci-fi.
my mind on that, Appion. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Appion just read that right out of my mind, just on my cue
He got
card.
eaten
that
by a
scratched
shark
out.
in Deep Blue Sea. I mean,
Yeah. Now,
At the
next.
bottom was Django ran plantation poorly is scratched out.
oh,
Now,
it was the
next.
most profitable plantation. He got that motherfucker burned to the ground.
Oh, Death
That's
Starred. Not
Now.
even, it gets Death Starred. Doesn't he blow it up with dynamite? It
Yeah,
burns a
sure.
little, but then it just like kaboom.
Oh yeah, and you want to go further? He's the one that puts Django in the hands of those guys with the dynamite that blow up Candyland. So it's all his fault.
Does
Now
he
next,
also fuck up in Hateful Eight?
Hold on. Next on stupid news, okay? Because we generally go through
Going
two.
on a
And hey,
tangent.
Chrissy, how's
My
it going?
big dingus.
So, well, you're close because it does have to do with California. So,
Uh-oh.
this
Not California.
no, but this
I've
from the
heard
New
California
York Post,
wants to party.
this California retailers that refuse gender-neutral toy section will be fined up to $500 under this new law.
In other news, invest in Care
What the-
Bears. They're going to be big in California because you can just put them in
Right.
there
Yeah.
and say, I got it taken care of.
Now, I don't know what's up with the website because it looks a little buggered up, but come on. Like, are you serious? Just in time for Christmas, too, right?
Right.
Because Christmas is
next,
right around
next
the corner.
on the news, there's a rash of closures of toy stores as businesses continue to flee the state.
Exactly.
Authorities flummoxed.
Yep.
What scares
Oh,
me
and
is
Chrissy,
there's enough toys
eventually
to
I
fill a
will
whole
get
section.
to yeah. Chrissy, I will eventually get to Scott Pilgrim. So
Yikes!
I will, because I promised I would, and eventually I will. So, hang on to that.
Aisle full of
Yes,
butt
sci-fi
plugs.
mommy. Yeah. Now this is stupid. Exactly. So, goat father. Yeah.
Everyone
Well,
has a
Cali
butt.
is read by a wannabe dictator, so I'm not surprised about this story either. Already
Yeah.
heard of it. How do these people keep voting for these tards? Exactly. So,
They
gender
get in
neutral
somehow.
game aisle. Yes. Yes, Phantom. So, but I mean, what are you like? Oh my god! Like, what are you gonna do?
Ow.
You're gonna learn up of look up Barbie's skirt or something like that, or check down Ken's
Oh,
pants
I
or
don't
something like that?
know.
I don't know. Are you gonna like I don't know, open up the hood to Optimus Prime's chassis and see if
I
there's
saw
like some
Barbie's
sort of
cooch in
tool
Wolf
there or
of Wall
something like that?
Street.
I mean, my God, really, California, really? You're gonna go through every toy in your state and check if they're gender neutral? Are you serious?
This is where I start rooting for the
Oh, my
giant fault
God.
line that's supposed to cause a massive earthquake that will split California off from the rest of the
Yes.
country. Like,
Yes.
come on, fault line. You're not trying
That's-
hard enough.
Gentlemen,
Exactly.
You want
Piccolini
to
here
speak
may
from
talk
LA
like an
to
idiot
happen.
and look like an idiot.
This is
but don't let that fool you.
unenforceable.
He really is an idiot.
Yeah.
This is some
Yeah.
nanny state bullshit, and this is some Orwellian fucking horseshit. But I will tell you
Oh,
this:
my
it's also
God.
like I would, if I was a merchant, if I had means as a merchant, I
Yeah.
would be like,
Yeah.
you know what? Come after me with your unenforceable fucking law, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
in my business, I do what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want. There's a sign outside that says my business. I also like take
Exactly.
responsibility that no one walks into the chandelier in my fucking business. I have it hooked up to the ceiling really good, you know.
Yeah.
I also
yeah.
take responsibility that you don't slip on my fucking floor. So don't tell me how to
Remember-
fucking run my business, and I will tell you how to
Exactly.
fuck up the state of
But on top of
California.
that, when we were kids, it didn't matter whatsoever.
It
Nobody
didn't matter.
cared, right?
We
Like
were
if you had a
kids, we played
sister,
with toys. We played
Exactly.
It
with
overlooks the
action
fact
figures.
you
that
had a
some
s-
toys are gender neutral by nature.
Yeah,
Teddy
but
bears.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, if you guys out in the chat had a sister or something like that, and you had a GI Joe, maybe sometimes your sister would maybe swipe that GI
Wait,
Joe and
wait,
go
hold
play
on,
house with
good
Barbie or
news.
something like that, or something
Wait.
like that. It didn't matter.
But Mike, the Force is female, so Star Wars is now
Oh.
mandated into stores because you can sell
Oh,
all of
that's-
those, no
that's right.
problem.
That's right. Yeah.
This is the
exactly.
Star Wars Protection Act.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Phantom
wouldn't-
Outsider.
wouldn't you
All
say,
toys
like-
are gender neutral because they identify as toys. Exactly.
Power
Yes,
Rangers
they're
toys.
chunks of plastic.
Yes.
They're
Get
chunks
over
of plastic. For
Like, what are you
crying
gonna
out
do,
loud.
California? You're gonna maybe sue Hasbro, which is on the East Coast or something like that, because they're not making gender neutral toys. Like, give me a break.
No,
This is
no,
so
it's
Transformers
on the
are perfect.
retailer.
They can transform.
exactly. They
Now,
have
more,
RC
more
and
and
PP
more. I
now.
wish we had some kind of technology where we could just cut out the state of California and swap it with Japan.
Oh, I'd be okay with
Yeah,
that.
I'm glad I live in
Hey,
fucking
yeah.
America.
Canadian Spider-Man. Nice to see you, man. How's it going,
Hey
dude?
there.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
happy
I
on.
just
Welcome
saw
to the show where people dunk on people from the coast.
exactly. But
I'm on the other coast.
I've
It's
only
nice
lived
to
in
only get
California my
half as
whole life.
much.
All right.
It's just so stupid. But getting into more stupid news, of course, because that's what
Oh,
we do
wait,
here.
there's
So-
more.
Oh wait, there's more,
Wait,
but there
there's
might be
more.
a little bit because
Wait,
you know
what else
how-
did
how,
Gavin Gruesome do today?
Oh well, you'll find out maybe. So, but you know how some actors and actresses are pretty outspoken, not
No.
for their own good.
No.
No, never.
Get outta
You know,
here.
You're very usually reserved and quiet. What are you talking about?
You
That's-
mean
yeah, I
like
know,
Rachel
right?
Pigler from Snow White?
maybe, but then again, some stars actually use their voice for good out there, which you know, I know it
Oh,
sounds
gasp.
rather amazing and whatnot. Yeah, I know. Go figure, right? So this kind of in bounding into
Oh, yeah,
comments here,
this-
former Doctor
Oh, this
Who
one. Yeah.
lead, yes, Christopher Eccleston declares he will only return to the series if BBC sack Russell T Davies and current creative team. And I gotta say, you know what? Good on him
Yeah.
for speaking out on this. Now, I know that probably some of you guys out there maybe aren't Doctor Who fans, and that's okay. That's fine. You know, I mean, I always have been since
I
I was a
liked
kid.
it when they got it right with Jodie Whittaker.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, it was
The
just
Timeless
so
Children.
brave.
Everybody loves that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, everybody.
Oh yeah,
Great-
you know
great
what? Like
And
storyline.
favorite.
it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to be free of that colonizer thing. And Sir
Yeah.
Isaac Newton is now black, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. But
Yeah, I found
you
that
know,
out
if-
yesterday. I was like, "What the actual fuck did I just watch?"
Is it one of the
and
longest
hail,
running
Dead Man,
shows
how's it
ever
going,
made?
man?
Like, isn't
Necessary-
Doctor Who like one of the longest running TV shows? Like,
Yeah, it's
Doctor Who,
actually
yes.
the longest running sci-fi TV show. You have like
60
60 years of lore.
No, here's
and
the thing. They
canon.
missed.
Wow, that was
they're
pretty much
gone.
undone.
No, they're
Yeah.
the oldest franchise. They were gone for 15 years. That doesn't make you
Yeah.
longest running. That's a
okay,
pretty
but
Yeah.
they
big.
still had a
amount of
long
time.
run
Okay.
though.
Oh
All in
yeah,
all.
no.
Exactly.
When they came
Yeah.
back, they
Even with
stuck
the little
with
hiatus. Yeah.
There was a huge
Yep.
hiatus, but I will say this: they were true to what they had done before. They
Yes.
didn't
Yeah.
come back as a different Doctor Who that sucked. Was it the same people? No, but like at that point in the BBC, I think that there was just like a quality control and like, wow, we've gotten Doctor Who. People really love that. So when someone walked into that role, it
Yeah.
wasn't viewed as like, oh no, I'm working Star Trek Discovery. I have to use my pen name.
Yep. No, you're
So
right, Chrissy.
there
Yes,
was-
or it is.
There was some
Yeah,
prestige.
that was a great movie.
Yep.
Funny stuff. Especially
But
on
in
first
case
watch.
you missed this out there, yeah, Christopher Eccleston has been very vocal about what's been going on. So, given in a voice to a very real frustrations to the British franchise's longtime fans, actor Christopher Eccleston has revealed.
Wasn't he once a doctor?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
it
was
in
the first
newly
You
one.
got to
released-
say that.
Reboot.
You know, Mike,
Tom
I got
Cruise
news
was
for
the
you.
Ninth Doctor.
That's
I got
right.
news for you. This
So-
a lot of our viewers are American. They know who Doctor Who is, but like this stuff is like it's like saying James Doohan to someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has
you gotta
revealed that
make this
his
one clear.
one condition for even beginning to consider a reprisal of his role as the ninth incarnation of Doctor Who's titular protagonist is the removal of the series' current creative team. And I'm glad that actually somebody out in the, Hollywood sphere, so to speak, is actually speaking out about this because you know what? After watching the last three of the, quote unquote 60th anniversary, which was supposed to be so brave and so good. Yeah, I'm glad that he's actually, as a doctor, speaking out about this, right? So
Yeah.
kudos to him,
Hey guys, how about this
'Cause-
one? Start the the
'cause-
Kickstarter right now. What do you think of this idea? We'll take Christopher Eccleston as we'll call him a time baron, and he'll be known as Professor Nobody.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's-
He travels
that's-
time. He travels time in
Yeah.
in a pizza truck. He's got a pizza truck.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I would have said falafel, but hey,
It could
that's
make
good
fans
too.
so happy if
So-
they just had some plot line where the Timeless Children was like a big lie of like
Yes.
the Time Lords or something, like a
Yeah, I
villain
mean, if
implant
you
a
want
fake
to,
memory or
if-
something. Yeah.
yeah, if
They
you
came
want,
If you
very
would've
close
taken-
to being able to
destroy-
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because if
yeah,
you
if
would
you
have
want-
taken Peter Capaldi and
Yeah.
then had him regenerate into a, let's say, better doctor, not Jodie Whittaker or something like that, and just say like, "Oh my god,
What a
I
horrible
just
dream.
had this what a horrible dream, right? And just leave it at that, right? And erase it all away.
People,
You know,
people
days
are
of
actually
future past
waiting
that
for
shit.
that.
exactly, right? Never happened.
But they won't.
So-
They'll
Yeah.
double down on it,
When-
and then they'll keep
Exactly.
going.
They're
with what
being
they've
dumb
already
right now, yeah.
established. Yeah,
That's
they'll
right.
double
That's why
down
I'm
on it 'cause
saying
they've destroyed 50, 60 years worth of lore and canon
Yep.
for the sake
Mis-
of checking
Mr.
boxes.
You can't do
Mr.
that.
Eccleston, Professor
No, you can't
Nobody.
do
That's
that.
the role of a
No.
lifetime for you. You will face off against the Skeledead. They are robot monsters with much like the Daleks, and it's not their name spelled backwards or anything like that either. You know, Professor Nobody, call us.
But
That's like going back and changing Superman's origin or something else that's been around for,
Right,
since before a lot of people
Forever.
were born, and then fucking it up, and it's just like now you've fucked up something that people knew and loved for 50 plus years, and now you just
Yeah.
made it something that it's not.
Or you keep giving
Well,
Superman more and more unique abilities, like
Yeah.
electric powers or something.
Yeah.
Let's
This
see
is the
how
worst one
much-
yet,
I
though.
will. I
This
will
is
see
the-
how
this
far
is-
they
this
can
is-
telekinetic
blood
powers.
protector, yeah.
No,
and
I
everything.
I
Yeah.
consider what was due to
No.
the Doctor Who people to be the worst one yet, though, because Star
It's
Trek was
worse,
already a
yeah.
garbage.
It is.
Listen, Star Trek was on fire when they did the Picard thing, which was they found out the ultimate way to destroy the old fans was to bring back the original characters and have them shit on the show. But
Yeah.
this was like, it looked like what happened with the first half episode of Tenet, right? It
Yep.
looked like for sure he was just going to say, oh, what a terrible dream. But instead, when we come back, and we spent 6 months, right? There's a long time between shows. They brought him back early. This was a big deal. So people were excited for like a whole 6 months. They're like, oh, it's gone. They wiped away the timeless children in a clever fix that no one ever expected. And when we come back, it's like, too bad about that timeless children thing.
Yeah.
Boy.
Melted
And
copper.
he-
Yeah, he can time travel in a Tesla truck since it looks like a DeLorean would if you saw one after having a stroke. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd
Phantom
be great.
Outsider. What's really funny is the whole timeless children thing featured a woman in stems who then murders multiple children to culturally appropriate regeneration. Exactly. Sci-fi mommy. Yeah, it wasn't Russell T Davies that destroyed the lore. It was the one after him. Yeah, no, that's true.
Mhm.
Exactly. Chibnall. So Ray Lucard, does that mean the 90s Doctor Who movie counts
No,
as
it's
canon? Yes,
it's on
it does.
Davies. No, it's on Davies now. Davies said he wouldn't overwrite.
No,
it.
but the thing is, no, he won't.
He didn't
Yeah, but
write.
90s,
He
the
didn't write
90s
the story.
The 90s Fox Doctor Who movie does count as canon. It does. And it's already been out there. It
No, but
does
don't you-
as canon. So,
Don't you think you have to put some blame on the people in charge now when they had a fix and won't do it?
oh no,
Come on, he
exactly.
shares
Yeah,
some of the blame.
blame is on them.
He's like,
So
it's like you had Darth Vader and you didn't kill him, kind of thing.
yeah. So the first man to portray the Time Lord following the series' return from its 1989 to 2005 hiatus. Well, I mean, if you're counting like the 90s film, then, there's a little bit of a hiatus between that and 2005. But Eccleston spoke to his potential return to the TARDIS while speaking to attendees at a Doctor Who Q&A panel held as a part of the recent 2023 edition of the UK-based For the Love of Sci-Fi Con. Now, for any of you that hasn't seen this, I will play this for you right now so you get the gist of what's going on.
Guys, so much love for you both here this weekend. What's it been like sharing the love with the fans this weekend? And we have the big TARDIS in the background as well.
It's been terrible.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead to the part where he says what he says. Okay, so it's around this mark right here.
Anniversary of the show
Now,
this year. And like I said, people would love to see you both come back at some point. But Christopher, for you, your experience with...
Only one person.
No, come on, everyone.
And that was my mother,
Guys, wouldn't you love
who's
to
over there
see-
with the beard. Mom, you need to shave.
You'd all love to see Christopher come back as the Doctor, right? See? Now, what would have to happen for that to become a reality?
Sack Russell T. Davis, sack Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and I'll come back.
Damn, he said that shit on a
So can you arrange that?
panel like this?
Wow.
Dude, that is
Did you find
based
it?
like
I thought he said it in,
that's
like,
like
an
Mark.
interview.
Associated with the character.
no.
given-
Pause
Not
that
at
for a
all. I
second, because
love
they're
being
talking some
associated with
serious
character.
shit.
That is
Like we
such
got
a
to comment
boss
on
move.
just that right now. I think.
Wow.
Right? Isn't
Wow,
even come?
that's right.
He just dropped
That's
a bomb.
pretty brave
Yep.
right there. That's
And
really
hail
brave.
real
Been like
Waid.
a one-on-one
Fuck
interview.
all of
Going
you.
through.
Nah.
Yep.
Damn.
This is like
Hail to
this
you,
is like
man.
Mark
Nice to
Hamill.
see you here. Yep.
To give context to people who aren't from England and didn't come up in a place where Doctor Who was big, because in America we only had like one season of Doctor Who, right?
Yep. And I want to say
BBC
hail
America.
to Stark of Iron. How's it going, man?
Tony,
Nice to
Stark.
see you here.
Hey, hey.
And and Real Waid
What-
Nation
this is
Gaming
like-
also
Hello.
here. Hail to you, dude. And I'm only 220 subs away. Right on,
That's
man.
cool.
All right,
Nice
wait,
to
see.
I was pushing for that earlier
Sweet.
today. I just
That's
want
right.
to say, like, for Americans, for context, guys, would I be right in saying this is like Mark Hamill's like, let me tell you, they could save Star Wars and they should fire Kathleen Kennedy and get it the fuck away from Disney
Yes.
so they can go back and give
Yeah,
Luke Skywalker
yeah.
the death he deserves. And people being like, what? Like, this is like one of the most popular things you can say from a guy who's, I had to check, but yeah, he's been the Doctor like I thought he was, but you know, I need.
Yeah, he was,
sometimes
he was
some
the
help on
Doctor
these
in the
things.
new incarnation of the series.
So
I mean,
and he was
uh,
a good Doctor, right?
Who's
He was-
been around in America since the early mid 80s. I remember watching Doctor Who in the 80s on
Yep.
a local PBS station. It was the Tom Baker era.
Yep.
Right,
And Tom
that's the one I
Baker
got. He
left,
was a
and it was
really
Peter
good actor.
Davison. Yeah,
Right,
it
I
was
saw
it
that
was
too,
Peter
a
Davison
little.
after Tom Baker. So yeah,
little big
Doctor Who's
change.
been around in America for some time.
Oh, yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this move, this is like boss move.
Yeah, this
right?
this is like dropping a major bombshell on him. It was like, you want me to come back? This is what I want to
Suck
happen.
my c-
Yeah, he
He
didn't
just
sugarcoat
told
Exactly.
people to
it.
suck it.
He
He
came out
didn't
and
hold
said
back.
he said exactly what he was really feeling. Like respect
Yeah.
for that.
Yep.
Like,
You
damn.
know what? He's
And
a-
you know what I
he's a
would love
pretty
to see?
smart
I would
guy.
love to see the former actors that played former doctors, right? I don't care how old they are or anything like that, because you know what? They were true. The writers were true. The actors were true to the whole legacy of Doctor Who back then. I would love
Day
to
of the
see if
Doctor
these
was
guys
only
came
okay,
out.
but I love seeing all of them.
Yeah,
So you're right.
But I would love for them to also come out and have their say and say, you know what? Yeah,
Come out,
what you guys are doing is
Yeah,
bull
yeah.
crap.
I'd
Bull
like to
crap.
know. I'd like to know what Tom Baker thinks of the current run of Doctor Who. Peter
Yeah.
Davison is still around.
Yep.
Who else is still out there? Colin Baker.
Colin Baker. Yep.
Yep.
And Sylvester McCoy.
Yep. That's
like
right.
all of them. They're all
Yeah.
still around.
They're all still
So,
around.
Make it happen. And you know what? And here's what I was seeing on X lately. You know, like previous companions just going around, oh, this is just so magical, this is just so great, so awesome and whatnot. It's like, well, great, you know, I'm glad that you have your opinion, but you know what, you're just a companion. That's all you are. You were a tag along. It doesn't really matter what your opinion is, but of course everybody clamors to them because, you know, most of them are, you know, of course, women. Most of the companions have been, you know, let's face it. And
Makes
it
sense.
just seems like they just toe the line. It's like, oh, everything is just so
Didn't
brave.
they undo
We don't
one
need a
friendship
feminine
with one
doctor.
companion? Didn't they
With
undo
what?
one? Didn't they undo something to do with the Doctor and Donna?
Well, yeah, that was essentially the first of the 60th anniversary episodes, right? Like technically it's like if she ever saw me again, if she ever remembered, she will die, right? The
See, I can
knowledge
muddle
that's in her
through this
head
Doctor
will
Who
burn
shit.
her
I know
up.
some key shit.
Exactly, right? But no, it's just all wished
It's
away,
a
right?
worldwide
But
phenomenon.
I want to see everybody, every previous doctor come out like Christopher Eccleston and call this out for what it is, as just complete and utter tripe. That's all that it is. And kudos to him for doing what he did, right? Exactly,
Yeah.
Radioactive. Dr. Woke
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
Doctor Who. Exactly.
I want Matt Smith to do it because he has enough pull and power right now where he could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Matt Smith's
Away with
take on it would be really interesting. I'm even curious if David Tennant would come out and say anything about it.
But
No, he seems like he's in too deep. He's not going to burn his writer. He'll say something
burn
polite.
bridges.
Even like he's a human being. Like his friend's a bad writer who's misguided. It's still like, for all we know, the guy's the godfather of his kid. He's got to be shaking his head too because he can't be this dumb.
Yeah.
Space pronouns. Didn't we have that last week?
Man, I was in Ahsoka and then Doctor Who just bouncing around from one franchise to another that are going through shit.
But drawing a thunderous applause from the crowd after asking
poor man's Henry Cavill that way.
All love to see Christopher come back as a Doctor. Yeah, this is what. Yeah, exactly. Just to reiterate,
after he said that, I want him back. Yeah, I think he just increased his chances. It went from a long shot to like a fan favorite right away.
Exactly, and everybody clapped. Right? Yeah, sack them all. Sack them all.
And Mike, you know this better. You know this better than me. I'm asking you honestly. There was not really any shot he was coming back as the Doctor, was there?
No. See, because when
but
he left,
now,
like,
what do you think about today?
Well, here's the thing, because when he left, he wanted to do only one season of Doctor Who, right? That's all that he was into, right? Because he was sort of kind of rising like on the Hollywood scene kind of a little bit, right? Because shortly after that, he had done G.I. Joe. He played Destro in G.I. Joe. And so he thought he was going to make it big. It wasn't too bad.
Going by memory, I want to say he was also having some health issues at the time that also kept him from pursuing more than one season of Doctor Who.
Right.
But I may be wrong on that.
But you know what? He's all right now.
Yeah, he's all right now.
He's all right now. But
very quickly, he's a big fan of Doctor Who. He grew up like everybody else in the UK.
Quickly, doesn't he sound like a man on a mission?
Who. Yes,
he sounds like a man on a mission, and he's just planted a seed. Like there was no chance yesterday he was going to be Doctor Who. What's the chance today? I'd say 16 to 25%, just right off the bat from that press conference.
No.
Well,
maybe
he started a conversation.
There's a difference between.
I'm thinking that there's going to be a Professor Nobody of one kind or another, and that he'll be some kind of Doctor Who very soon because of all this.
Now, what's that, Pop?
There's a difference between what fans might be cool with and what will actually happen from the BBC. I mean,
sadly,
unless the Doctor Who ship completely sinks and we see like another hiatus,
right?
Nothing will change in the franchise. It's a dead franchise. Those of us who grew up watching the Pertwee era, the Tom Baker era, the Peter Davison era, we're not interested in Doctor Who as it is now. We're not going to sit and watch any of it. I've read about the 60th anniversary episodes with David Tennant. I haven't watched them. All I know is what I've read and what we've discussed here, like last week and whatnot. I have zero interest in sitting in front of my TV watching any of that.
Exactly. Ray Lucard, space pronouns? Aliens are already having a hard time understanding Halloween and Christmas. They are. Yes, they are.
Didn't aliens cook Santa Claus one time? And
I think so, Aliens versus Santa Claus. Yeah, that's an awesome movie.
So, we may have invented the term space pronouns on this show, by the way.
Oh yeah, we've gone through that. Jeez.
Yeah.
My pronoun is the definitive article.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, that is.
I am a little space thing, but I have a pronoun.
Yeah, I am always known as the meep.
And that still gets me because you can translate words, but how do you translate a concept?
You should bring us a space shrubbery.
We are the
Oh goodness!
If they would have done that, I want them
to do more of that. I want them to do more of that. Double down on that, so the franchise can sink even faster.
Yes, exactly right.
What does the S swallow?
What? Oh my god!
You know what I'm thinking we could do is if we have two ships go on either side of the franchise and tie this belt of Freon around it, it will sink to the bottom of the harbor, and then we can inflate the life rafts underneath it and bring it back to the top. So the change in pressure will surely kill it.
But notably, all 4 members of Eccleston's sacking wish list previously worked on the collective Doctor Who franchise during its revival era. I love that space rubbery.
The revival era makes it sound like they went from town to town having like a full gospel Doctor Who.
And
Collinson, that was mentioned by Eccleston, was on the Sarah Jane Adventures, and Tranter, Gardner, and Davies on the core series, before returning to 2023 to helm Nutui Gatwa's return run in the role, doing so under the banner of Tranter and Gardner Bad Wolf Productions Company. Now, you got to remember, though, also Sony bought Bad Wolf Productions. Now, remember that, okay? Because they put in a big, they bought it. I was thinking it was like way early this year or late last year, I do believe. So you got to remember a little bit of history on top of that too, right? And of course, as we know, Disney has their fingers into this as well, right? So to this end, Eccleston revealed that his major sticking point with Collinson, Tranter, and Gardner's attachment to the show was how they supposedly took credit for the show's success after doing all they could to distance themselves from the production. Very interesting, right?
Grab your Ankleston. Here comes Eccleston.
Exactly. So I think at this point they should probably ask every companion from this moment on,
what is your favorite color before I let you into the TARDIS?
I mean,
what's
no green.
your number?
It's that scene from Monty Python 2 with the subtitles, and it's like, those responsible for the bad subtitles have been sacked. And then those responsible for the sacking have also been sacked. And they're responsible for the sacking.
What is your preferred pronouns? So
I don't know that.
Right, exactly.
We're all in Shooter McGavin territory here, right? It's like the goal is not to really win, but to win it so you can destroy it and pee on the ashes.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I don't plan to live in it. I just want to pee on it and
exactly.
Burn it down and piss on the ash.
What is your preferred
true villain?
But this is what it's been. You know what? This is basically what the writers are going to end up doing, because we've already seen it now in the past 3 episodes, right? Because of Rose, right? Being actually a dude, and it's like, no, I'm a she, her, and all that kind of garbage. And you know what? They might as well just make it a Monty Python skit at this point, right? The Doctor's like going to be confirming,
what do I call you?
It's like,
you can call me Rose. I identify as she, her.
Oh,
okay. So you're into the TARDIS right now, so don't mind the meep.
It's just like,
but now there's apparently going to be 2 TARDISes, because from what I read about the last episode, it's
my God,
David Tennant's Doctor split and became both the 14th and the 15th Doctor, which okay,
it's like
whatever. I don't care anymore.
10 toy or game master, whatever his freaking stupid name is, right? It's like, oh no, I still have my prize. And he literally takes a clown mallet and hits the TARDIS, and it splits basically by osmosis or something like that. It becomes 2 TARDISes. Like, are you kidding me? This is the most retarded shit I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
in Doctor Who.
But the TARDIS has wheelchair ramps.
Oh, yes, and it now has a wheelchair ramp. Even though, even though I've seen, like, in the 1990 Fox movie, a police motorcycle driving literally into the TARDIS, wheeling around and driving back out. I think we saw it during friggin' Matt Smith's Doctor, where Clara and Matt Smith's Doctor was on, what was it, like a Vespa or something like that, and they drive into the TARDIS. So apparently a ramp shouldn't even really be a thing at that point, right? It's just so retarded. Thomas Haley creations to those to do with this new garbage need to be forced to sit in the comfy chairs. Exactly. That's exactly, man. Oh my god! But it's just garbage. It's so garbage. Yeah, Melted Copper. What's this negative talk of garbage? What did Shirley Manson do to you guys? Is it wrong to be happy about rain? Exactly. Oh my god. But anyway, so keeping to the article here. So question and a follow-up in by the panel host. Did you find it hard to be associated with the character? Now, to which Eccleston adamantly declared, not at all. I love being associated with the character. I just don't like being associated with those people and the politics that went on in the first series. The first series was a mess.
Wow.
And it wasn't to do with me or Billy, like, Billy that played Rose, basically, he added. It was to do with the people who were supposed to make it, and it was a mess.
And then that picture.
Exactly. Exactly. And he's just happy to say that, it seems like.
Yeah.
That's a shit-eating grin if I've ever seen one.
That is.
Exactly, right?
Don't hold back, man. Don't hold back.
Love it.
That's right. Let me know what you think.
He's become Destro in real life from G.I. Joe. Like, he's became the real life version.
Exactly.
No wonder he was so good in the role. I really enjoyed him as Destro. And by the way, I felt like Destro really kind of stole the movie. To be honest here, it was a commanding performance by Cobra Commander, but it can never match what we got with Starscream. They didn't have the voice. So I'm being honest. The guy who played Starscream, I don't know who did it, but it's like, Cobra Commander. It was like, he was like the kind of guy, he'd stop at nothing. If he was down to like $25,000, he'd be like, he would rent a moving truck, and I could just imagine him making out the paperwork with the helmet on, and like just fill it up with like machine guns, and you'd be like, give them to the homeless along with these Cobra uniforms.
You want to know what really makes no sense, Steve? In the movies, Cobra Commander was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I know, right?
He seems so nice.
God.
If you want someone to play like a Jimmy Olsen type or an altruistic investigative reporter, you called Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I guess Joseph Gordon-Levitt's 40 now, so he can't play like someone with like a youthful outlook or something. But if you want to like someone who's considered to be a good guy, like I have to say, like he kind of looks like a more benevolent Jeremy Renner, because Jeremy Renner looks just a little sketch. Like that's kind of his appeal.
Right,
he seems wholesome, but he can look dangerous.
There's only one Starscreamer. That's
now Destro seemed like he had a vision. I was willing to consider if they had a if he had a 401k.
On my payroll.
Yeah,
I was gonna join Cobra, but they just didn't have the future stock options that I was looking for in a company. And the Cobra, but you know what? So I joined the Cobra Reserve, and using the Cobra education, I joined the Cobra Reserve. We only come out for major actions.
I'm doing my part like Starship Troopers.
Exactly. I fly. I have one of those flying platforms with 2 laser beams on the bottom. I can only be called up by order of Serpentor himself. So, Cobra Law is in threat. Yeah, but you know what? 2 weekends a year and 1 month, 2 weekends a month and 1 month a year, I can go in the Cobra Reserve, and with the Cobra
in no time.
Yeah, with the Cobra GI Bill, I've gotten through college as a culinary chef, and I've opened up my own restaurant in San Francisco. It's a 4-star, 4-diamond, Michelin-reviewed restaurant, and I'm considered one of the top chefs in the Midwest, thanks to Cobra Commander and yes, Destro.
Yeah. So further elaborating,
Cobra Commander's made my career prospect top notch. Thumbs up for Cobra.
I ain't gonna be all I can be because I was in Cobra. I wore that T-shirt for years as part of my show. Do you know how many burning vehicles I rolled out of unharmed?
Okay. So further elaborating on his disdain for the executives, the Thor: The Dark World star. That's right, yeah, because he played the Dark Elf on there.
Oh, right.
And first series of any show,
He was Malekith.
Billy
That's
Piper.
right.
That's right, he was.
That's right.
Let's see, first series, nobody wants to know. The BBC were like, we're going to keep a big distance from this, and then as soon as it was a success, they were all up close going, I was responsible for that, but they were all at a dance. Like it was a folly. He continued, this is Eccleston's folly, Piper's folly, Russell T.
This
Davies'
sounds
folly.
very Godfatherish.
It's like suddenly, it's like, oh yeah, I worked on that, he said. Then they wouldn't come anywhere near us, and then they jumped on the bandwagon, concluded Eccleston. Those kind of politics I'm not very good at handling. I can't swallow that. No, and good for him for saying that, right?
And
So
even better on him for
basically,
not planting the flag for another side. He's like, I'll have my free opinion. Fuck you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you're just like, he's like, I'm not going to volunteer my mind after saying that statement because you know what? I just made a statement that everyone should think for themselves. So I'm not even going to make a suggestion. So whatever.
And Harold,
he feels,
Carla, how's it going? Nice to see you here. Dang, 16 people here. Please click the thumbs up button. Yes, if you guys
hit
can go
those
ahead
like
and
and
click the
follow
thumbs.
buttons.
That's right. Hit the spread button, hit that follow button because we got a party going on here on
think maybe
Rumble
we're
as
getting a
well. Because we
raid
got
from
9
another
people
show.
getting on Rumble. Maybe that could be it. So, and of course, hail to Wendy Trauma Warrior. Yeah, you're still here. So great. I'm glad to see you still here. Anyway, Foggy Bottom is in the chat, Carla. So there's a little thing going on at his end. I don't know if he exactly wants me to elaborate, but he's had a little bit of a tragedy going on in his neck of the woods. So just if you can, I'm trying to remember how it works. If you can put a his initials
FB.
in there. FB, yeah,
FB.
for Foggy Brains or geeky classic leftist Tom.
Or
That's
T for
FB
Tom.
is much
or T
easier.
for
Everybody
Tom.
represent
T
Facebook.
for Tom or FB.
Exactly. Just
Press
to
us.
show him some love. So, I'm hoping that, he'll be good enough to come back like maybe next week.
I hope
So just
everything's
wanna give him a
okay.
little bit of time. Yeah,
and
yeah. So
if there are some common causes of depression. So let me just address the leading one. Just because Dial of Destiny sucks doesn't mean you can't go back and watch Raiders.
Oh, and Wendy, yeah, I might be heading to surgery. I'm waiting for a CAT scan result. Are
right
you
on.
meaning you, or are you meaning
No,
like
I think
somebody else that's
she's-
coming in? So
maybe
because
part of her job.
yeah, that could be. For the love of God,
Yeah.
I hope it's not you. So if it's somebody else, then
Mhm.
yeah, okay, I get it. So anyway,
Making a difference
so,
for all of us. Thank you, Wendy Trauma
Exactly.
Warrior.
thank you, Wendy. Oh, and I might have a
Yeah, said a
special.
patient waiting for
A
a patient.
patient,
Yeah,
she said.
I-
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, good. Because
It's
I
unfortunate
might
that they have trauma, but since it had to happen, they're
Yes.
fortunate that it might just be Wendy who helps them out.
I
that the way to say
might.
it?
I suppose you could say it that way. I'm working with something with Wendy that I will be probably working on. I'm thinking about giving Wendy a little special Wendy Trauma Warrior segment. So
I
I'm
thought you
gonna
meant
think
the
of-
part where you were building a rocket for me to jump the Snake River Canyon, and she was going to be on the other side to make sure it was okay.
That too. Okay, well
No.
then I guess it's okay to say, yeah. Tom says, yeah, I had to put my 14-year-old cat down who got cancer Thursday night.
Oh,
Very happy to
goodness.
hear that.
It's
Oh,
messed
that's
me up.
I'm
unfortunate.
very sad
Yeah.
to hear it.
So yeah,
Sorry,
Tom,
buddy.
you
Yeah.
take all the time you need, bro. So
Yeah.
because
Pets,
I know
pets can become very big parts of our lives.
exactly. So I know what it's like to lose a pet, especially,
Yeah.
and so just put it if you can put a TH in there in the chat for
That's
for
part
my
of
buddy
why I don't
Tom.
have a pet.
Yeah. So but yeah, I definitely hope you
and
get
I'm
better.
definitely
man.
afraid
I
of
really do.
animals.
Oh, well, that would
Hmm.
do it. So, but so while the former series star did not speak to his specifics with Davies during this panel appearance, it appears to stem from the previously discussed breakdown of his relationship with the four across his time on Doctor Who. My relationship with the three immediate supervisors, the showrunner, the producer, and the co-producer, broke down irreparably during the first block of filming, and it was never recovered. Eccleston explained to UK-based entertainment outlet Radio Times in 2018, "They lost trust in me, and I lost faith and trust and belief in them." Wow. So that's why I guess he only lasted like really one season. He wanted out of it.
And that's why he doesn't look that sick anymore. Maybe that was just to get out of that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Don't know.
We don't know.
So when I left, I gave my word to then showrunner Russell T. Davies that I wouldn't do anything to damage the show, he further detailed. But they did things to damage me. I didn't criticize anybody. Pressed as to whether Davies knew of Eccleston's issues with his superiors, the actor declared, "If you're the showrunner, you know everything. That's your job." Wow. Unfortunately, Eccleston did not note whether or not any of his anger towards the 4 Doctor Who stewards was based in the series' current direction.
Geez, who are they going to hire to be Doctor Who and Burn next? Henry Cavill? It's the same kind of experience. He's like, all of a sudden, these woke maniacs started talking total bullshit.
I don't think they could afford Henry Cavill.
To give people, no, but I'm saying, like,
it reminds me of Henry versus the Witcher people. That's what
exactly.
Here's the exact guy you want to have play the role, right? He's like, I absolutely don't approve of this because I like this show. I grew up watching it, and I have to answer to other people. And by the way, they're fans who deserve a better show than this. And they're like, you're problematic. He's like, how is saying I want to be a good actor in a good show problematic? Isn't that why we all do this? And they're like, we grind out TV content here. You're acting like an artist or something. And he's like, holy shit, I hate these people. Okay, exactly. I'm not going to hurt the show. Everybody, I'm a little bit run down. Exhaustion. Only 1 year.
How dare you?
Fuck you guys.
Opinion.
Exactly. It was like I bet you it was like 2 full days at work screaming and fighting over the scripts, like first of all, which stories he would do. And then after that, like major revisions, like, no, you're not going to have me reduced that way. It sounds like he had to fight like hell. It's like, it does not sound like it's anything but a nightmare.
They wanted a quiet little yes man to do what they wanted.
That's right.
Push around.
Exactly. They wanted a team player.
Well, and they didn't get that. Yeah.
You know what? I admire this guy, and I wonder if this kind of spirit of independent thespianship, because that's, I guess, what we'll call it, for lack of a better term, does this exist among North American actors? I mean, would Chris Evans be like,
I think it does.
You know, I saw Toy Story, and, this isn't how Buzz Lightyear would act.
Yeah, exactly. And you're seeing it. They only do it in a bit of a different way where you just don't get as much work anymore.
Yeah, they get canceled, like Gina Carano.
Exactly. Kevin Sorbo. Gary
Gina
Sinise.
Carano was in Traps. That had something to.
What
happened with Gina Carano seems to me to almost, in and of itself, just alone, without all the other evidence, seems to validate the Disney versus everybody craziness.
You see it with Gary Sinise, because he's been quite vocal lately in a few things here and there. You see it with God, and I always get those Baldwins mixed up. The one that was in Independence Day and Chuck and
Adam Baldwin.
Adam Baldwin.
Yes. Adam Baldwin's like the best Baldwin.
And not even related to the other Baldwin.
He's not.
He's the best Baldwin. He's not even related.
But you're just.
That's probably why he's the best.
That's why he's the best.
Yeah.
It is only his genetically. He has a genetic superiority over the real Baldwins from Long Island. They may be related to Lindsay Lohan by proximity. He doesn't have to worry about that.
And had a Howsy Phantom Boomer. So nice to see you here, man. So seeing how we're pretty much a little over the 1 hour mark, and that's okay. Let's just take a brief commercial break to clear the palate and move on to the next story, shall we?
Yeah. Everyone brace for it.
Love is in the air at Omega Mart. Romantic dinner in a can, back in stock. Spoil your special someone for just $4.99. That's true love. That's Omega Mart.
What? Omega Mart.
That's right.
Yum.
Romance in a can.
Dig in.
Oh,
Exactly. That
I said
tasty
was the
gelatin and
instrument.
everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Welcome to the channel again, Appion.
That's
And
right.
welcome to the
I forgot how
channel
great those
again.
commercials are.
I know, right? So
It took you by surprise, didn't it?
exactly. Yep.
Started out like a Jim Halpert prank from The Office, and it turned into some surrealist, crazy people are violins.
Melted Copper. Yeah, Alec Baldwin taught me that manslaughter is for poor kids or kids who kill friends on accident to sit in jail. Not a Baldwin. Exactly. So
It's so hard to watch him in 30 Rock after what happened, because there's a scene where he's like, we can't shoot Kenneth. You know how much paperwork I'd have to do if you shot Kenneth? I'm like,
exactly.
oh,
Exactly.
that didn't
So-
age well.
No, not
Neither
really.
does the part in Crimson. Neither does the part in what's his sub movie called? Hunt for Red October, where Sean
Right.
Connery he's holding a gun on someone, and Sean Connery pushes his hand down and he goes, "Certain things in here don't react very well with bullets."
Exactly.
No one's
Yeah.
memed that yet.
No, nobody yet. So let's move on to the next.
Maybe because
article,
you
shall
wouldn't
we?
recognize Alec Baldwin from what he looks like today. But who's that handsome guy?
Now, next article up
Right,
to bid.
right.
Let's get into some comic news here.
Uh-oh.
Yes, because it never ends with
Wait, it
them.
gets
So-
funnier than the shit you've been telling us so far.
Oh, this
possibly.
is good. Oh, yes.
Yes. So this from
Yes.
Cosmic Book News. Mark Waid proves cancel pigs right, attacks Mark Millar. So if anything is anywhere or anybody in the comic book industry, and what I just said absolutely makes no sense whatsoever because I jumbled up my words. The comic book industry is up in arms following the comic book store owner video going viral. So let me just bigify this for a little bit for everybody to have a look at and read and whatnot. So Mark Waid, once again, proves that the comic book industry is in shambles as he attacks Mark Millar in a bizarre social media post proving Mark Millar's description of cancel pigs
Is it
is
Miller or
100%
Millar?
right.
I think
go
it's
with
I'm pretty sure
Miller,
it's
but
Millar.
people pronounce it Millar because
Yeah.
there's already another Miller in the comic book industry.
Yeah, I think
Exactly.
Millar is a better way to go. I
But
don't-
from
that's just
what
me.
I've heard from other, top-notch comic pundits, i.e., artists that actually work in the industry, they actually pronounce it Miller.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone cared what Neil Pearce thought about his
No.
name.
Probably not. So, a video that went viral recently featuring a comic book store owner, which I imagine most of you in the chat and on this panel probably saw, who said he just wants a good to read good stories and doesn't want writers to inject themselves into the content which ruins the stories, right? And that's pretty much what
Bad
we all want,
news. I got bad news
So-
for you.
Oh yeah, because that always happens all the time. So, following the video going viral, various comic book pros attacked the retailer, not responding to what he said, but attacking personally the comic store owner based on his appearance. Oh my. Because we
Right.
have to make fun of the way he looks and not the character of the person himself.
Because you have nothing substantive to your argument to
Exactly.
defend your position. You have to go on the attack and
That's
attack
right.
somebody on a surface level.
Exactly,
You
because
know,
that's the
you
way
could
it's done, right?
You could creatively edit that. Like, think about that. Like, he attacked the comic book store editor based and just end it right there.
Exactly. So, Mark Millar got in touch with the store owner, and Miller said he couldn't believe the reactions online from these cancel pigs, right? So, the response I got when I retweeted it and talked about it too, I just think people said enough is enough. What's interesting is I call them cancel pigs, and it's the people who try to take other people down, try to destroy people online. They all went into hiding. It was really interesting. I think there were a couple of hours where it was the usual shenanigans where they were looking to lynch someone, and then it just flipped and everybody was like, oh no, hang on, this is actually quite shameful what they're doing, and people are deleting their tweets, so all the cancel pigs are scrappered. Okay, whatever, which I thought was really fascinating, right? So that's the tweet that apparently Mark Millar.
Why
put
didn't
out.
they call them cancel ninjas?
Yeah, they could have done that.
But
just
but
sounds
that
familiar.
they're pigs automatically.
Because everybody loves ninjas, right? And ninjas are quite good at,
Cancel ninjas would
Well,
be.
yeah, you're attacking someone, then you disappear into the shadows. That would be more of what they're saying from
Exactly.
this statement. But pigs,
Yeah.
you know, they're going
I
at
like
somebody
I like the
personally
term
and saying they-
cancel pigs better
Yeah.
because
How
they
about this?
get reactionary and they start squealing at anything.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess the internet's a trough. I guess.
believe that we have the
True,
capacity
true.
to go three
No.
words with our slogan. How about this, man? Cancel pig ninjas.
I'm just saying, ninja is more along the lines of what this paragraph is talking
I
about. How
agree.
people act online.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
pig
they're being
behavior. This
stealthy.
is more like a ninja or an assassin.
Well, these people would give
Out of the-
ninjas a bad name.
That's,
How
I know,
about-
I'm just,
how
I'm
about-
Ninjas are
just
cool,
going
though.
off their
Cancel-
words in that sentence. That
How about
paragraph.
canceled ninja pigs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
The
Well,
big
no, if you
ninja
could do it in a
bandana,
way
you know.
that
Yeah,
if you
as an
do it in a
homage
way
to
that
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and
Yeah.
radioactive adolescent radioactive.
but you have the
Control
letters
Warriors.
NC.
Yeah.
You have the letters NCP there. You got to find a way to make that work, right? NPC,
yeah,
right? So non-player
yeah.
character, right?
Ninja,
So
ninja pig cancelers.
yeah, ninja pig cancelers. There you go.
Yeah,
Now
there we go.
now we have an art form.
Exactly.
He's like,
Now-
they all went into hiding. I'm like, when do pigs, like, they would just be oinking away? Like, they're not going to go hide somewhere. That's not how a
but-
pig acts.
But here's
So
the
the
thing:
lawyer
once they
from the
leap out of the
SPLU,
shadows
I
like
would say,
ninjas
these are
do,
just
I don't know.
opinions.
how they leap out of the shadows, and all of a sudden, they cry out as they're attacking, like that. As they're
Yeah.
diving out of
Yeah.
the roof rafters and
Squealing.
stuff like that. Yeah,
He does
exactly.
make it sound too appealing,
exactly.
or too,
No.
or at least too skillful. Too skillful.
Or as Diesel in the chat says, ninjas are cool. These people are not.
Exactly. That's
So,
true.
yeah.
Yep.
Cancel
That's
pigs.
right.
I'm fine
Exactly.
with cancel
On behalf of
pigs.
ninjas, I would say thank you.
Yep. Pork
I'm
chops are
fine
good
with
bacon.
pigs, too.
Tastes good. Are you Jewish?
That's Pulp Fiction.
That sentence just really
Exactly.
didn't point it the way that they were trying to say. Is what I'm,
No,
what
probably
I-
not. So, but
No, that's the
following,
line from Pulp Fiction, though, from Melted Copper. That's what Julius.
Following
That's
speaking
what
with
Vince
the-
Vega says to Julius.
yeah, following speaking with the comic book owner, Mark Millar set up an interview with the big three comic book retailers. They went over the state of the comic book industry. The retailers revealed that both DC Comics and Marvel are in a downturn, and certainly things aren't working, including relaunching titles and going with so many variant covers. A former DC editor, a former editor at DC and Marvel, also came out on social media exposing comic book pros for wanting to destroy the direct market and the comic book industry. Very interesting. Mark Millar has also said on social media that he is grateful for what the comic book retailers have done for him, and he owes his success to them. Mark Millar is the comic book creator behind the Marvel's big Civil War event, Old Man Logan, and of course, known for his movies, TV shows, and creator-owned material, Millar World, which he sold to Netflix for millions of dollars. Some of it has turned out okay, some of it maybe not so good. Millar has said that he doesn't need to write or publish comic books anymore. Well, of course, because he has millions of dollars. Why would he, right? He's like, what's his face
Yep.
with that one show.
Todd McFarlane.
No, the one that hasn't finished his novels
Oprah
yet.
Winfrey.
No,
George
Fat
R.
guy.
R. Martin.
that guy that likes trains.
George R. R. Martin.
George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, exactly, that guy.
Yeah.
So, but he does it because he loves them, right? So, yeah, one of his shows on Netflix, what was it called? Jupiter's Legacy, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
enjoyed that show. That was pretty good. Then I was
It
kind
wasn't
of
too bad.
saddened that it was canceled.
I didn't
Exactly.
hate that show. I liked it.
No,
Yeah.
neither did I. I do want to see a second season of that, but yeah, I'm rather disappointed that it's not getting a second season.
It
So
was kind of a good show.
yeah. So as Mark Millar continued educating himself about the state of the comic book industry, he came across a book that is being written about the comic book Whisper Network. The Whisper Network is a private Facebook group consisting of female and trans comic book creators. Oh, well, this is interesting now. According to a writer of Bleeding Fool who exposed the group in a series of articles and who is now writing a book about them, the Whisper Network aims to cancel and harass various male comic book creators and replace them with people from the Whisper Network. It's also claimed the Whisper Network includes comic pros and members of the comics media, including Rich Johnson of Bleeding Cool, Heather McDonald of Comics Beat, and CBR. Comic book CBR is well, a lot of people out there would know who CBR is. Comic book.
I forget.
Report?
Comic book review, comic
Yeah,
book
something like
reader,
that.
something
Yeah.
like that. It's
Yeah,
CBR.
they're huge, right?
Yeah.
An article at Bleeding Fool goes over an example where comic book creator Bill Willingham. Now, if you guys remember Bill Willingham, the one that had Fables through DC that basically released everything.
That's right.
Yeah, that
he
guy.
dumped everything out in public domain, didn't he?
That's right. That
Yep.
guy was
Yep.
targeted after a female employee, a part of the Whisper Network, allegedly embezzled money from him, and she was arrested for it, who ended up fleeing to Canada. Oh, crap. Really? We have to get this person?
She was arrested for it. Sounds like
Yeah.
a Vulcan talking about his daughter's legal problems.
Yeah, I will
she
find
was
this
arrested for it.
person.
The Whisper
and
Network
anyway.
sounds like an evil anime team that like the good
Exactly.
guys fight and
Yeah,
defeat.
yeah.
We have
Like
to
some
kill
kind
the
of Squid Game or
Whisper
something like
Network.
that.
Somewhere along the way, this is probably the same network that got Ethan Van Sciver booted out of the comic industry as well.
Yes. Now,
Did he
after the
also
news-
say that Provasic was a bad drug right before this happened?
Maybe. But after the news of the arrest got out, Heather McDonald of Comics Beat published an article allegedly attacking Willingham. So, regarding Mark Waid's apparently DC Comics writer Gail Simone, and you all guys know her. If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book, right? That
Easy
person.
enough. Easy enough.
Exactly. Had said is also a part of this Whisper Network. Following Mark Millar tweeting about the book, in which he never mentions Simone, Mark Waid went on the attack on his Facebook page. And just like the cancel pigs Mark Millar described as attacking the comic book store owner, Waid attacks Millar in a bizarre rant as follows. And like a falling star rocketing across the sky. I love how he paints a picture that way. Another former comic superstar whose heat is fading chooses to cry for attention by blaming the industry, his peers, and the audience rather than taking stock of his own professional progress, admitting that we were often the authors of our own fate and finding the courage to reinvent himself and stay relevant. It's really not that hard. My star is not going to burn forever.
That's what she
either.
said.
That's right. No one's does. And accepting that fact gracefully is a sign of emotional maturity. But if I ever become that guy, every single one of you has permission to slap me upside the head and force me to reread the above paragraph as many times as it takes to sink in. Well, good on him for saying that, actually. You know,
I hope I
Because
stay
if you
true to
become-
myself.
If you become too bloated with your ego, your own ego, then yeah, you're going to really miss out on a lot of things in life. And you're going to be blind to a lot of things.
Well,
that are
I don't
going
want
on
to really
around you.
condemn being egotistical out of hand, and I'd like to think I haven't missed anything out of life by acting that way. But yeah, I guess maybe a little.
No, you know. So because yeah, everybody out there, doesn't matter if it's us guys here on the panel or you guys out in the chat. We at times need to refocus sometimes where we're at and actually be really grateful for what we had. I know it's not exactly easy at times, because sometimes, depending on, I don't know, maybe the kind of hits that we get through, I don't know, social media or even here on Rumble or on YouTube or whatnot. Sometimes our egos do get the best of us and we forget why we started, why we started what we started. And
well, say that again in the voice of William Shatner. That was inspirational. We need to remember why we did what we did.
We need to remember why.
Safe.
Why?
Man didn't need to fly. He found out he had to, though.
Exactly. If our egos get too big, then we miss out on why we do what we do. I'm not a good Shatner, so. But no, I'm really not. So.
We all understand that it should be read in an enterprise.
I give you A for effort.
Exactly.
You read it in an enterprising manner. That's all that counts.
There you go.
Yeah. A fan remarked that Mark Millar is not wrong to highlight that there is a disconnect between the Big Two's editorial and LCS owners and the readers, which didn't sit well with Waid. Sigh. All this complaint about how comics are dying because familiar characters are being written out of character by people who want to self-insert with their own political causes or turn them into SJW mouthpieces, but not one single legitimate example given. Not one. Who? Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Flash, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Captain America, Daredevil, Iron Man, Nightwing, Harley Quinn, Damian Wayne. Seriously, what am I missing here? Have these complaints or complainers read a single Marvel or DC comic in the 2020s? So, makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I hope not, because the stories are almost complete. Those stories are almost universally bad.
Yeah, exactly. Does he want to answer that?
Yeah.
Have you not read anything? I think it was like, what was it, last week or was it on Tuesday where I showed I don't know, multiple examples of
right. Or
right?
that show we were discussing, the Green Arrow comic book.
Yeah.
Or
right?
well, not the Green Arrow, the Green Lantern. The Green
Yes,
Lantern.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. How many examples did I give, right? Marvel Boy, or what was it, that thing that was on the t-shirt of Wonder Woman, right? Ask me about my feminist agenda, right? Shit
There's a disconnect here. There is a disconnect from these people with everybody else.
Phantom Boomer. Yeah, I'm too perfect to have an ego.
Oh
no, are you? No. So Melted Copper, I have too much ego. I love Kurt Russell and the toys.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 reference. Nice.
Exactly. So somebody's getting comic references here. Yeah, and that's these guys on this panel right here, right now. So as Millar cares so much about the comic book industry and wants to save it, Millar came up with the idea that experienced comic book pros could mentor upcoming comic book writers. Mark Waid didn't like that idea, right? So, to which he says, the Captain America series by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oof.
Yeah, I know, that's a tongue twister of a name, isn't it?
That was
goodness.
I know.
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Yeah,
it's Ta-Nehisi Coates. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I've heard the name before.
You've heard the name before. I'm so glad you're and I'm not.
Yeah.
So, is one of the bad examples, which seemed like a political manifesto shoved inside a comic book, unlike the writings of Kirby, Grunwald, and your very own Operation Rebirth, followed by post Hickman X titles, and most recently The Punisher by Jason Aaron. Cap hasn't been written by Coates for some time now. The Punisher book that's being published today isn't reflective of your complaints. Isn't that what you wanted? Why are you arguing so hard for something you already have? As regard to the current X books, I need you to be more specific about your complaints. In what way are there more SJW than they have ever been for decades? Frankly, you're being too benevolent when it comes to today's comics, which is surprising considering the kind of work you have produced for our favorite Marvel characters, namely the Fantastic Four and Daredevil. I'm not benevolent. I'm simply acknowledging that not all these comics are written to my specific tastes. Any more than the war and romance books were when I was a kid, or any more than half of the DC and Marvel superhero lines when I was a teenager. And that's perfectly fine. I just because I don't like something doesn't automatically make it bad. I'm not trying to minimize the fact that there are real problems in the industry right now, but straw man complaints about comics that simply don't exist aren't helping. Wow.
Even though back then it was way more subtly done, and you could put
Exactly.
messaging in there if it was subtle.
Yeah, people actually did writing back then. They knew the craft of writing, how to craft a story, a narrative, how to do characters, tension.
Not like
story's good. People won't care so much about the message.
Subtlety is lost.
Yeah,
exactly.
Subtlety is lost on people these days.
Yep, it is. I mean, when you're getting crap like what was it that we were also talking about last week? It was like Mystique, right?
Right.
And about how she's not a shapeshifter anymore. No, she's a gene changer, right? That's basically how Nightcrawler was birthed. We just I don't know what, dipped my finger in there and just mixed his genes around and poof, oh, there pops Nightcrawler or something like that, right? Like, oh
can I be honest?
Yeah.
That isn't as horrible an idea as what they did with it. Like that idea, like they found the worst possible path to take it on. Like the idea she could change her DNA might have been kind of cool for something that made sense. Like like passing as someone else, you know what I mean? Like maybe like for instance, like if they take like a DNA test, like it's easy to see how she would try to get past like verification when she assumes someone's identity. Like a retina scan isn't enough. They want saliva. That in itself would have been cool, but they found like the one path that no one wanted to go with this.
Well, wouldn't you say too, like her feminine wilds were a huge part of her personality? Like her using her femininity on different mutants and things was a part of her. Like that was who she was. So taking that away is kind of stupid.
It is. Yeah. Could you Mystique like a Venom symbiote? Yeah, it makes you wonder now, doesn't it? Right? Yeah. Because if you could just change your DNA to whatever, then you know what's even the point of even having a human form at that point, right? You could just be like literally anything.
Yeah, why is her base human form a woman and everything then? Like
exactly. Why isn't it a man? Why isn't it an elephant? You know, why isn't it?
I like know. Rebecca Romaine.
Is she even remotely human anymore? I mean, if you can shift away.
Well, at the end of X-Men 2, she is.
Basically, she's an amorphous blob, is what they want her to be.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Yeah,
whatever
now
she wants to be, she can be.
She became a Deep Space Nine shapeshifter, to be honest with you. But just really quickly with Mystique, it was like, yeah, her feminine wiles were a huge part of it. And again, like, is this the representation you kind of want? I mean, geez, this is now weird and uncool. It's not fascinating anymore.
If Mystique really wanted to be brave and daring and whatnot, then I dare her to look like Chad from Weird Science.
She's not a woman; she's a birthing person. Oh my god!
It just hit me. It's that amorphous blob that he was turning into at the end of the movie.
But think about it, Mike. She's not actually a woman anymore. But she's still a birthing person. This was all done to get to that statement, wasn't it?
She's Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Oh God!
Part of this,
So,
Part of this where it says straw man complaints about the comics industry simply don't exist. This kind of makes me think of the people who defend the politics in the Star Trek universe by huffing and puffing and saying, well, politics, Star Trek has always been political.
Yep.
Yeah, but
yes,
that's
and
such a
no.
weak argument.
Yes, it's been political, but not in the sense that you're thinking of.
These are identity politics and very specific. This politics of Star Trek in the past has been like our geopolitical interests and theirs don't align. And by the way, the flame of liberty needs to be jealously guarded while we do this because it could be snuffed out. Okay, let's go forward. And that's been politics.
And it was more cleverly
general.
And like, behind the main plot, they'd have a message, but it wouldn't be just, banging you over the head.
Yeah,
they'd
it
have
was
a
more
great story,
subtle.
and then it'd be there. It'd be there, but it wasn't like all you need to absorb is that message.
That's right.
I call what they do now
this.
instruction. I don't like to call the old Star Trek message. You know what I like to say? You got observation and commentary. Now you get instruction and shaming.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this.
You could also say it was a traditional morality tale.
Right.
Commentary, though, like they never.
It was
The,
morality tale,
episode-
commentary. It's not the same as what we have in Star Trek today. Star Trek today, it's hitting you over the head with the message, while people defending that saying, "Well, Star Trek's always been political."
I want to.
Meanwhile, the episode about the Vietnam War was made for all political stripes in the whole family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Now,
it didn't
I'm gonna
divide
say
people in
this,
private
it's,
little war.
with Diesel being in the chat, he can kind of back me up on this. Like last night, I was on for a little bit on the Common Nerds channel there, and we were kind of going along the same lines of what's going on here and stuff like that. And he had mentioned, do you know what the one group so far that has not taken any crap from any of this stuff getting into the community is Warhammer. And that anytime, and he said something like along the lines, like every 6 months, there always seems to be somebody that creeps into the group to like suggest certain things, right? Like, why do we have like, female warriors in Warhammer or something like that?
Yeah, like Magic
and
the Gathering is trying to like ruin Warhammer like they did with Magic. I totally know what you're saying.
Exactly.
But they
and
won't let
apparently everybody in the group immediately like just pounces on them and ejects them out of the community and saying, you know what, they're like, and I'm not familiar with Warhammer, but apparently there's like a women's group that's like Warhammer, like Sisters of
Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill has the rights to that. I hope he really makes a good Warhammer.
And you know
product.
what? And that's what every community should be doing. I don't care if it's Star Trek. I don't care if it's Star Wars. I don't care if it's comics. I don't care if it's Doctor Who. Do the exact same thing. Attack these bastards and just do not relent whatsoever.
You got to buy the rights to them first. You can't let these corporate fuckheads get a hold of your favorite products because they're going to ruin it. Now you just have to buy it yourself and do it yourself these days. Like
that's right.
We're talking about attack
with myself.
When Mike says attack,
a parallel entertainment industry crop up.
Yes.
When Mike says attack, he means by boycotting. Boycott them. Don't give them your money. I was trying to jump on that grenade, but you were right ahead, just ahead of me on that.
But no, Waid also said he wouldn't be doing it. Well, since you asked, first off, that's presuming other writers want to mention or want to mentor younger writers. That's a very kind of effort, or that's a very kind of effort, and it is not easy to do. It is quite an investment of time and energy. And yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with that statement right there because to mentor someone, it does take a lot of time. And I should know because, of a certain someone, I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want everybody to go to him and bug him and stuff like that. But yeah, it does take a lot of time and effort to mentor someone, whether it's in writing, whether it's in art, whether it's in, whatever. I don't know that I would have the bandwidth myself, and I certainly can't speak for the people Mark is talking about. I have no idea how much money you would have to throw at Cary Bates to get him to come back to comics to do a job that he has expressed no interest in having and may simply not want to do. Also, frankly, I really think that the industry can do a lot better by today's audience than to rely exclusively on creative points of view of a bunch of white men in their late 50s. Oh, wow. Shots fired,
So racist.
including me.
Wow.
The
There it
argument
is.
Mark is putting forth is confusing craftsmanship with storytelling.
Couldn't just say a bunch of men. You had to throw white in there.
Yeah, you have to throw
old,
white
and wait, and old. It's also ageist. This is fucking hateful. Double E exclusive right there. This is like that party for only for non-white people that they had in Boston.
Oh, now I want to say this.
Right,
Diesel.
right.
Yeah, from what I'm understanding, Warhammer is full of pure-blooded savages who defend their franchise at all costs. Yes, dude. There you go. There you go. Simple as that.
Which is probably why we haven't heard much of it in the mainstream.
Exactly.
We're going to hear more.
Yeah,
as
they
it
won't
gets
let some
closer.
half-ass bullshit come out under the
Exactly.
Warhammer name.
The
Nope.
people on the losing side will start to make more noise. Believe me, they're going to try to take it hostilely. We've seen it over and over. But I will say this: there was another community that did score a huge win. The pro Rings of Power community is extremely small, a sliver.
Yeah.
You release something that global, you'll have a few people who like
that
it.
a typo?
You know, I don't hate anybody, but
Screenshot from Whipper. I think they meant Whisper, so that might be a typo
Oh
in that
yeah,
article.
no, they have those all the time in these articles.
Yeah,
they're all very poorly.
Waid also
Tends-
considers Mark Millar and those who want to fix the comic book industry as the alt-right. And I would rather have the comic book industry destroyed than work with them. Waid was sued for tortious interference as Waid allegedly stopped a comic book publisher from hiring Richard Meyer due to Meyer's politics that Waid allegedly didn't agree with. Screenshots from the Whisper Network also reveal comic book creator Alex DeCampi making similar comments about Meyer and a publisher. Now, Waid posted, I think a lot of us would rather see the industry burn down than get together with the alt-right. I know I would. Sorry. And I call, and I call.
I got something to say.
It's
better to burn out than
anyone
fade
who
away.
wants to highlight the issues gets piled on. I think it's
That's
far
right out of
more accurate to
Highlander.
say- Yep, I think it's far more accurate to say anyone who wants to blame everything on SJWs gets piled on, or anyone who wants to complain that their favorite character is being written as political mouthpieces but can't provide any examples of this is being piled on. Like,
I bet
anyone
they
who
all
can't
can
provide
provide
any examples,
I bet
yeah.
every single
Yeah.
one can
Yeah.
provide
Yeah.
examples.
Finding them
Fuck outta here with
Exactly.
that.
and then
gee, I think
Everyone
we
can
like
provide
talked
examples.
about.
We played a video
We
from
can
that
name it
fucking
right
Green Lantern
now.
guy, like pandering.
Yeah.
Everybody buy my #1 Green Lantern book. Like,
And we, and
there's
ladies
how
and
many examples are they going to keep ignoring?
for God's sake,
What is
I
it?
can like mail you a big giant crate of examples. There's so many.
Oh,
many.
that's rich.
Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, the
No.
people on this channel, on this panel rather, have heard some
Hey.
very dumb shit. I just want to say that. We have all heard some very dumb shit. We do this show every week, and I think I speak for all of us when I say this might be a basement of stupidity and maybe even a Billy Madison award of dumbness on this one here. Right?
Everyone
We're all a
in
little
this room.
stupider.
You can
Yeah.
ask any
So,
comic book store
I award you no
owner.
points. I award you
Yeah.
no points.
May God
can
have
ask-
mercy on your soul, like
Yeah.
all that.
You can ask
What are they
any comic book
thinking?
store owner what sells and what doesn't, what
Exactly.
flies off the shelf and what gathers dust and ends up in the 25-cent box.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
Jennifer
You'll
Lawrence
find
and X-Men Dark Phoenix, perfect example right off the bat. I could just think of
Right.
one right off my top.
Right.
When she's like, you can't call us X-Men, we're X people. And actually it should
Yeah,
be X
exactly.
women because the women have done all the work. It's like, all right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Boom.
That's
You didn't
nice.
have to put it quite
now-
that way. It's like, did you have to be so mean about it? You know?
Yeah. And another bizarre rant later on in the thread, Mark Waid blames white men for the problems
All our fault.
of which he notes that includes himself, right? It's like, so, and that's where the problem is. Bunch of white men in their 50s. If they are willing to mentor, contribute, why stop them? Especially when their work is revered to this day. We agree about the financials and how this would come about smoothly, but this attitude towards bunch of white men isn't healthy even for you. Include yourself with them. You too have a lot to offer for us fans.
I never thought like bunch of white men would be public enemy number one.
I know, right?
Public enemy number one, but we are.
Responding to Mark Waid's comments, Mark Millar revealed that he and Gail Simone are on good terms and have no problems. Pleased to see Gail has, yeah, exactly. Pleased to see Gail has had the typical class to delete those tweets from last night since everyone stirred up with this concocted post. See below, we remain as ever good friends. Oh God, I have nothing else to say other than I'm sure you meant no ill will based on our good relationship in the past, but I would appreciate you deleting these tweets considering how based on nothing but an idiot faking a narrative. Oh my God. And I don't want it used as an excuse to trash other people. If we learned anything from these characters as kids, I hope it's basic decency. The industry has problems, but any debate should be carried out with civility, or you only make yourself look bad.
We don't want to trash anybody except old white men, but everybody else.
No, exactly.
Or the fans,
Exactly.
or the comic book store owners. Who
That's
have
right.
To deal with the crap.
This-
We don't want to attack people, but they're perfectly fine being attacked.
Oh yeah, exactly. This is not a time for pretty factionalism. I've no interest in groups that divide people or vicious to others. This is a time for people to come together and do their best work. Now I'm sticking to my page on no replies and would encourage everyone to have a peaceful Christmas. Oh, well, at least he said Christmas.
He should have put a little
Right.
note there. This is a time for certain people to come together.
Yes.
He
certain
missed
people.
that word there.
We can't divide people unless we're the ones doing the dividing.
Fucking
And
ridiculous.
Exactly.
he's putting his page on no replies, which is the same effect of sticking your fingers in your ears and going blah 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 blah. I'm not hearing any other opinions. Blah 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 blah.
Yep.
I won't hear opposing points of view.
Mm-hmm.
My
Nope,
points of
you
view
won't.
only.
But I'm gonna show you something here, okay?
Okay.
Because you know the mention of this Whisper network, okay, is something actually quite new that is coming out recently, okay? So now an expose on the Whisper network exists and tries to destroy male comic pros. Okay, so now this is a little expose about what this is all about. Now remember, this is a secret book on Facebook. Or a secret group, not a secret book, sorry. A secret group on Facebook, okay? So if anybody wants to try to worm their way in somehow, some way, right? Start taking screenshots. I don't know, if I could make an alternative profile on my Facebook or something like that, you know, just fill it up full of, you know, fake bullshit kind of crap. You know, maybe I can get into the group or something like that. That'd be amazing. So, oh boy, that would be something. So many of the women promoting the cancellation of men in comics and demanding they post the recent empty promise known as Comics Pledge are in fact hypocrites. In this article, we're going to present evidence of lies, collusion, rumor spreading, and in my opinion, defamation and contract interference. I personally know that they colluded for years to take down men, specifically those with conservative politics and philosophies. This is an ongoing, coordinated effort. How do I know this? Because I've obtained access to their private Facebook group. So this is going to be very interesting, okay? So for all of you guys, okay, that are in the chat right now, whether you're listening on Facebook, on YouTube, or in Rumble, okay, for all the 11 people that are watching on Rumble, and from what I can make out, all the 16 people that are watching on this YouTube channel, okay, get this around, okay, because this is what's going on, and this is the stuff that needs to be exposed. All right. And this is why this channel also exists, because I can't stand this kind of stuff going on in the industry that we've grown up as kids enjoying, these movies and TV shows and comics and stuff like that. Right. And I imagine you guys out there have too. Right. And this is why I do what I do. Right. So the first part of this hypocrisy. Oh my God. When people make up names, I hate it. Hippocratic. Hippocrapolis. Oh, forget it. These leaks.
Hippocrapolis.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. It's an absolute ridiculous word.
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Apocalypse. Apocalypse.
Yes. Apocalypse. Forget it. There is simply too much to put in one leak, so I will make the following 3 points for now. Okay. 1. The so-called comic book whisper network. You know what? I wonder what happens if I click on this. Oh, it goes to an X. Okay, fine. Which has been dismissed as conspiracy theory since 2016 is real, and I have hundreds of screenshots to prove it. 2, the whisper network has been targeting men and trying to destroy their careers and use their connections in the comic book media to do so. 3, the whisper network members have acted unprofessionally and unethically at best. At worst, they have engaged in what I believe could be illegal behavior. Very interesting still, okay? So, so Alex the Campy, he's been on verboten on the Whisper Network for years. Time to stop whispering and start shouting. Oh, I'm going to follow this dude on X. Oh, excellent. Oh, and you identify as a he, she. Oh, whatever. I'll just keep an eye on you then. So, my story. Okay. I first heard about the Whisper Network back in mid-2016 from folks I knew at Image, DC, Marvel, and later Valiant. I'm wondering if Al Nickerson knows of this. I'm going to ask him. Depending on who I chatted with, sometimes the group was called the Women's Network, other times the Whisper Network, occasionally the Whisper Campaign, and eventually there were more conspiratorial names used mockingly. A friend called them a gender-swapped 4chan, which became FemChan to some insiders. Regardless of the name, it was all the same group. The same 5 or 6 names kept popping up in the conversation over and over again. As time ticked on, I noticed a trend on social media. Half a decade of rumors, false allegations, cancellation attempts, and they almost always trace back to these same 5 or 6 people. The goal of this Whisper Network, according to industry folks, was simple. Choose a target, smear them until they lose their reputation, their income, and are ultimately blacklisted, opening up job opportunities for the same people who started these smear campaigns in the first place. Wow.
They would make excellent YouTubers. Is that where they found these people?
Bunch of
probably
employees.
Exactly. Let's see.
They didn't want to make romantic comedies anymore. Bunch of
no, exactly. Tell the Whisper Network that keeps anyone who remotely leans right from working. These countless instances of these creators being totally disrespectful to customers. Sorry, SJWs exist even if they're a social construct. Drew Kalosai? Okay. Back in 2020, April 7th. Okay. So behind the scenes, these cancellations are painted as morally or politically motivated. But in the end, it's all financial. As time passed, the group in question seemed more and more like a reality. I saw their influence. I saw things I knew to be verbally untrue go viral online. Appearing in what I thought were legit news sources, I felt angry and helpless seeing innocent people getting attacked, but did not know what to do. A few years passed, and by 2018, almost everyone I interacted with in the industry seemed to know about the network, from top-level editors right down to letterers. It was an open secret, but no one was willing to speak up for fear of being targeted themselves. They knew the consequences, right? 2, the severity of a crime is judged by who is reporting it. Tess Fowler gets hit on by Brian Wood. Massive industry scandal reported on by all comic media. Esquivel's victims comes forward about his abuse. Industry silence. Comicsgate reports on it and is accused of sensationalism. By Darth Poole. See, all these little things start coming out here and there and everywhere. After all, this is a secret network without proof. There was also no point in going public because members would just deny its existence and use their media connections to smear anyone who challenged them. So on December 16, 2018, Whisper Network member Gail Simone, who joined the network 6 years ago, 4 years before the following tweet was posted, mocks doofuses who speculate that a Whisper campaign exists. All right, her post, yes, it's part of our Whisper campaign, according to doofuses. So, because somebody had asked her, Gail, you replied to my tweet 4 times this year. Did that make us best buds? Oh wow, yeah, just simp away, why don't you? Simp away. So now we know who you are, Iron Rennie or Rennie, whatever. So here's another tweet where Gail makes a list of fake things the Whisper campaign is discussing in an attempt to laugh away the notion. Today's Whisper campaign topics: 1, a good Ben Stiller movie. 2,
God, there's so many.
Yeah,
really
covering up bad smells.
That was my first reaction to that. I'm like, God, there's many.
Yeah.
3, comics page glue. Fact or myth? Oh my God.
Covering up for bad smells at con.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you've ever had to deal with con funk.
Oh yeah. I suppose
I'm sure no woman ever smelled funky at a Comic Con.
No.
Always men.
Yeah. At this point in late 2018, I was skeptical about the Whispers Network's behavior. I've heard many stories of individuals spreading rumors and lies, and plenty of malicious behavior was going on behind closed doors. Though I wasn't ready to believe it was a coordinated effort or collusion was involved. Then certain people began openly mentioning the Whisper Network, and my attitude changed. So back in March 26, 2019, Heather Antos, oh God, yeah, remember her? A member herself did not outright mention the Whisper Network or her involvement, but she made what some took as a veiled threat to those who got on her bad side. Pro tip: industries are small. People talk. Don't be a dick.
Sounds like really? She's just being an entitled bitch.
Or that too.
Sorry.
I'm thinking both.
But I don't know. I don't know who Heather Antos is. Never heard of her. Don't know what she's been in. Don't give a fuck.
She's been a freelance editor for a number of companies. I think at one time she went from Marvel to Valiant.
Okay.
Then left Valiant for someplace else.
Yeah.
And if you
IDW Publishing.
If you remember, also, I believe she got a little bit into the gaming industry with Knights of the Old Republic remake. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, because she wasn't a fan of Star Wars. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. She wanted to see fanboys cry. Exactly. So, Heather Milkshake Girl Antos' colorful backstory at Marvel and later Valiant is notorious in the comic book industry. A conversation about office rumors spreading and bullying is never complete without someone bringing up a juicy Antos antidote. Everyone has one. So up until then, there we go. I still hadn't seen actual proof of a larger scheme, but then something changed in 2020. In January 8th of 2020, Alex DeCampi, who I would discover is one of the most active Whisper Network members, openly admits there is a network. I have no idea if this is this was a slip or a brazen attempt to show off her power and influence, but this happened. He's been verboten on the Whisper Network for years. Time to stop whispering and start shouting.
I am woman. I just think of that song when I see that. I am woman.
I'm every
I'm a woman.
It's all in me.
It'll fit good when it fits a woman. I am woman.
Then on June 16, 2020, another key member of the same group, Stephanie Cook, someone who DeCamp often praises, converses with, and then trades retweets with, makes mention of the same group again without naming it directly. Cook references driving shitty people out of the industry, which is what the Facebook group has been working on in private for years. This was the most direct admission of the group's mission statement I've seen in public. I expect it will be deleted shortly. There we go. Stephanie Cook. Whisper networks are not enough. They only protect people in the know enough to talk to people with insider knowledge. We need to do better at driving shitty people out of the industry.
Yeah. Love how they get to decide who shitty people are. Love that.
For those who follow the anime industry and the voice actor industry, look up Vic Mignogna.
Yes, exactly. Poor guy. Phantom Outsider, the problem with the Whisper Network is their more appropriate name should be the Hack Network or Talentless Network. Yeah, you're right, dude. So the recruitment for Whisper Network, do you lack talent? Are you incompetent? Are you pathetic and pretty much useless? Join your equals on the Whisper Network. When someone's like Antos's pro tip, wouldn't that be professional malpractice? Yes, exactly, dude. So,
make the fucking shut up and do your job network.
Exactly. And thank you, Radioactive. Yeah, remember to smash the like button. Thanks, man.
Tape over your mouth.
That's right. Really appreciate it, dude. So, you know, they're literally admitting and boasting, right? And what comes before the fall? What comes before the fall? Ooh, pride, right? That's what's going on here. Eventually,
I wonder how many people of this group were behind the sacking of Ethan Van Sciver, if there are any people even associated.
Yep. Artie Bear, maybe Billy Tucci. You know what?
Yeah.
And I think some things might be happening to Rob Liefeld on top of that.
Yeah.
I think so. Yep. Eventually, I had heard and read and was confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that I was gained access to their private Facebook group. Oh boy. Now, you know what? Because this is very, very long, right? Very long. I'm going to do something for you guys. I'm going to save this for next week. All right? Because this is getting very interesting.
This could be a whole show in on itself.
Exactly. Because it's slowly getting onto the second hour. And as it's a Friday, and all you guys that are joining in on Rumble, the 9 people that are watching on Rumble, and the 15 people, thank you, on YouTube that are watching right now. Usually at the end of the show, we do a kind of a cartoon where, you know, you guys can have a laugh and all that kind of stuff and end the week off with a good laugh and stuff like that. And that's what we usually try to do with this channel. So, without further ado, and much to probably Appion's horrification and probably good laugh on top of that, I will commence with the cartoon. So enjoy, everybody.
Commence the cartoon.
It's on your flag. Yeah, but what's it supposed to be of? It's a horse doing Zumba, but note the eyes. His confusion from his poor coordination is compounded by his inability to express his emotions. Why does it have an erection? For glory, Zorro! For glory! How is this any better? It doesn't have horsecock plastered all over it. I only added the extra ones ironically because you're so drawn to that minor detail. Okay. 1, that was not a minor detail. Minor details don't take up 35% of the picture. And 2, you did not ironically add all those horse sticks. You so started mad when we told you we were going to change it that you started huffing paint thinner and then you freaked out and put horse boners on everything. Did we ever batten down those life wenches?
Again, not even a thing, Captain. Wait, why?
And so our heroes fought the squall with an iron might and a ship covered in horse penises.
It's a good thing we found this island. I don't think we could have lasted much longer out there. Dude, I'm pretty sure you just did more exposition than the narrator.
And then Zorro fell into a fucking coma, cause he's an overly critical ass!
I think we're being watched.
Ooh, you master of observation, you.
Come on, there's no need for that.
Upon closer inspection, the crew noticed a bunch of bizarre crossbred animals, much to their dismay, because this would present a puzzling question when it came to the development of the evolution on this island. Not to mention all the weird kinds of freaky animal boning that was going on. There, are you happy now, you moss-haired sword swallower?
Come on, there's no need for that. So you assholes think you can ruin my shoot, do you? Well, then get shot. Ah! Come on, there is no need for that!
He said it in the...
I think Tina Fey is a good trail of a strong modern woman. I agree completely. I also personally enjoyed Amy Poehler's performance as a lovable but headstrong government employee. It felt relatable and empowered, yet not overbearing.
The bush is talking. Why is the bush talking?
More importantly, why is it so well versed in entertainment? I've done it again. Oh, fuck me. Fuck.
Oh my God, is that the sun?
There, I couldn't find anything bigger to cover up your ugly face. What? I tried.
Your face looks kind of familiar. Have we met before?
I doubt it. I'm sure I just look like someone else you know. No one is going to mistake you for anybody else, you horribly unique freak show. How dare you talk to your superior that way? First off, that wasn't an insult. Secondly, if I came off a little cross, it's because I didn't expect today to include me getting shot by a goddamn chia pet. I do apologize for that. I didn't recognize you at first. I was in the middle of the scene when you came walking into the background of the shot. I get very passionate about my work, I'm afraid. I completely forgive you, because I really don't care.
Hey, who the fuck shot me? Thank you. Holy shit, is that man in a box?
He's definitely a man, and he's definitely in a box. I think you just one-upped the master.
He has an afro.
No! That's the star and director of Man in the Box, the movie!
Yeah, the secret's out. But I thought they gave you all the debriefing on the way here. Huh? You are the replacement crew they sent, right? I got a little excited when I saw your ship. Of course we're here to help you with your whatever. How's the pay? Horrible. We'll take it! Great, so let me get you up to speed. We're currently filming Man in a Box 2, where our hero, that's me, has just found his way onto uncharted land. Straw Hat, you're my co-star. Mosshead, you work the camera. Long Nose, you're the editor. And Orange Hair, you're the love interest. No offense, and here comes the offense, but this script is fuck all confusing, and most of it is written like it was from a 4th grader. That's because it was. We almost blew the entire budget on the location. It turns out this habitat is comprised completely of endangered animals. The permits alone costed an arm and a leg. But I guess that's really nothing compared to what we spent on marketing. I mean, we got a firm out of this world. Literally.
Yeah, I actually run a rather successful marketing firm in my spare time. We've determined that the internet and most key demographics are in love with Jennifer Lawrence. But if you'll note this next chart, we've discovered that Jennifer Lawrence plus penis equals Chris Pratt. As our research unfolded, we discovered an ideal situation for your casting model.
Those douchebags charged us $59 million.
I charged those douchebags $59 million.
Well, don't you worry. We'll have this movie made in less than a week, and you'll make back all your money and then some.
Wait, so am I narrating like the show or like the movie? Fuck it up, I'm just gonna read the words. Man in a Box 2 never made it to shelves. The following is the only surviving footage recovered from the behind-the-scenes extras.
The movie? It was a disaster right from the start. The co-stars were completely incompatible, and it didn't exactly help that Nami's character was named Ann Sook.
I said say sit still and suck. Sit still and suck. Fine, I think we can use it. I just feel bad for Usopp, really. No one really cares about the editor.
The really big issue was that we were worried we were going to alienate or offend some of the audience. But I think in the end we were able to maintain our vision and still keep everyone happy.
All right, in this next scene, all the animals have AIDS. This was a high concept piece!
All I have to say was thank God I wasn't the editor.
All right, now that we got the extras out of the way, for the final scene, Luffy will open up all the treasure chests on top of his giant rock. And action. Zoro? Yeah? What type of film genre would you put the first man in the box in?
I think it's kind of like a snuff film.
Fine, I think we can use it. Alright, in this next scene, all the animals have AIDS. I got a little excited when I saw your ship. Jennifer Lawrence plus penis.
That was great.
And that's pretty much it. So
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence
Huh?
and Chris Pratt have been in a movie together called
What?
Passengers.
Exactly.
That really
So-
cracked me up.
I know.
It's like plus penis equals, magic.
Yeah. Exactly. You get
That
Christopher
kind of
Pratt.
is.
Well,
right?
I'm completely lost.
Exactly, because Passengers was a pretty decent movie. So
Yeah,
there
that
you go.
is a pretty decent movie. It's not terrible. Like
No,
for
exactly.
both.
So
But I thought that was like the first thing I thought of when the video was like, yeah, Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence together. I'm like, Passengers?
yes, exactly. Now you get it. So
I loved it though. That was a great video. Funny.
oh man.
I got a good laugh
So
or two out of it.
is that a band down by the water of some sort? Yes, it was. So glad you enjoyed it. Oh my god. So as we wrap up the show, like I usually like to do, I like to thank everybody that dropped in because that's kind of what people appreciate, I suppose. Being because I can't talk right now. Acknowledged is the word I'm looking for. So I want to thank everybody that was in the chat. That Duck StreamYard who never chats, but he just tries to get the first one in. So bastard duck. So I want to thank Dark Helmet that was here. Thank you, Dark Helmet. Wendy Trauma Warrior that was also here as well. Our Geeky Classic Leftist Tom that was also here. And dude, I hope you're feeling better or you will feel better.
Yeah.
So, we love you, man. So, just take care of yourself, dude. So, Phantom Outsider, Radioactive, as well as Sci-Fi Mombi was also here as well. Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. Melted Copper was also here as well, chatting away as he always does, and I appreciate you, dude. And Thomas Haley's alter ego, Thomas Haley Creations, also here. So, because he's two at once, and that's why he does so much hard work, right? If you're doing two people at the same time, then that's what you do, right?
Yeah,
So
you're always working double as hard when you're doing two people at once.
exactly. Ray Lucard also along with Mrs. Dadman. Thank you, Mrs. Dadman, for coming on by. Really appreciate you, dude. I almost said dude, but you're not. But you're not.
I'm a dude.
So,
she's a dude.
that's right.
We're all dudes. Hey,
we're all dudes. So
everybody was gay.
exactly. Wes Cagle also was here as well. Thank you, Wes Cagle. And Diesel, my fellow Transformers fan, thank you for showing up and being here. I really appreciate it. Goatfather as well. And I believe I did say Dark Helmet. Yes, I did say Dark Helmet. And Saber the Doom Squirrel also in the chat too. So really appreciate you, Doom Saber the Squirrel. I got that backwards and I know I did, whatever. And Christy all the way from Sweden. Thank you, Christy, for dropping on by. I will very much try to get to that Scott Pilgrim anime that is out and try to do a review on it. So even though it has Chris Evans and Brie Larson. So I'll try to make it through. I know, right? Canadian Spider-Man as well was here, dude. Thank you very much for dropping on by. Really appreciate it, my man. And let's see who else was also here. I'm trying to go down the list. Real Waid Nation Gaming also here, who is 220 subs away from something. I'm guessing maybe 1,000.
1,000. Yeah, he's trying to get to 1,000. That's his.
Yeah, he's trying to get and Stark of Iron that also had to go. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you folks are up late, I'll be on tonight after work. Bookmark it here. There it is in the chat. So if you want to scroll back up, if you can go that far, then yeah, check them out. So Captain Phantom Nerd was also here as well, and I'm just going down the list because I want to make sure I got everybody as well because I don't want to be a dick. So yeah, that's right. That's the dude I'm looking for. Dadman, welcome.
You
so
say Thomas Haley Creations? They've been talking a lot.
Oh, there you go.
Hello, Thomas Haley's Creations.
Yes,
that's the one I've been seeing the most recent.
Welcome to the party. Welcome the community, and everybody use the CRC. Do you have emojis yet?
I got a few emojis that I put up there. So
use them. I'm going to use them.
Yeah. Carla
I'm
Burton
using them all right now.
Was also here. Everybody's favorite Kiwi, Carla Burton, and Phantom Boomer Explorers also here, as well as I'm trying to scroll down as soon as possible because I want to make sure that I get everybody, and I'm just talking fast just to fill in time as well because that's the kind of thing that I do as well. So, and Penny, yes, and of course Penny was also here. So thank you very much, Penny, for dropping on by. I really appreciate you being here, and I missed you a lot. But I'm glad that you're here right now. So yeah, to which Admiral Teague is adding every emoji that I got so far because I had to make up more. There you go.
Many times over. You know what? They're tough to make because, like, you know what? When you read the terms of how to do it, right? Like mine are photographic. I took photographic stuff from Star Trek. Like when you join, you get one Admiral Decker, Commodore Decker, and he's all drugged up. Then, like when you reach a few months in, about a month in, the badges are all going to start changing in like 15 days for some people. And then, like the top badge is like yet something else, and that's your forever badge. And I think people are going to like it. I spent a lot of time working on it. You know what's cool is you can change the badges. That's one thing. You can change your badges and emojis. They don't count as terms of membership because I'm like, damn, if I added an emoji for people, does that like delete all my followers because that's my members? Because that's one of the things it says. If you welch on your membership stuff or you change it or like I think you can add to it but not take away.
I think I'm not sure. I gotta try it. Melton Pepper is there a unicorn. There's not a. You know what? Yeah, maybe I'll add a unicorn for those extra special articles.
I think like a huge.
You guys know what I'm talking about. So
can you make this legible in the size we have? What about like a cup of coffee with a nuclear explosion coming out of it? This is like woke apocalypse. That would be a great fucking GIF for you, emoji for you. Would be like woke apocalypse, like
exactly
exploded, or just like a coffee cup with the atomic fucking logo on it, the nuclear logo on the side, like woke apocalypse.
Yeah. Oh, and
or a Kool-Aid line, a Kool-Aid line.
He is 2 away from 40 subscribers. Okay,
check out Phantom Boomer.
Yeah,
in the chat, buddy. I'll repaste it.
Or what you do is you have a little tiny Godzilla that's multicolored, and you have like a little nuclear explosion next to him, and you have like a little arrow pointing to him. Or something.
Yeah,
that Godzilla movie was so fucking good.
So good.
Holy shit, was that movie good? I couldn't
believe I was trying to explain it to people. If anybody can check out the Phantom Boomer, check him out. Go to his channel, and you know what? Try to make it at least up to 50, right? Try to get him up to at least 50, right? Because 40, yeah, that's great and all, but
they confer some YouTube rights on you at 50, I think, too.
Can we see the Phantom Boomer?
50 has been hard to get for some.
Phantom Boomer. If you put the link in the chat, I will repost it
right now
in link form. Yes. Yeah, and I'll subscribe.
If I get the link right now, I could
Both of us are ready.
Okay. Oh, and Thomas Haley, yeah, and on my way to see Godzilla. I'm on the bus watching the show. Even if I'm not there, I will always be here. Thanks, man. Really appreciate you, dude. So yes, go see Godzilla. It's awesome.
Melted Copper is chomping at the bit too.
There we go. Yeah. How is it the Fantastic Four made Galactus a Storm? Yeah, I know. Back in the Fox. The Fox days. At the same time, Transformers.
Hey, we all judged that movie harshly.
I know.
When you look back, that movie isn't as bad as a lot of modern day. It's better than almost all of Phase 4. Still,
that is true.
As shitty as that movie is,
that is
it's
true.
Still better than a lot of modern day shite.
As I like to say, when a bad episode of Deep Space Nine or Voyager plays, I'm like, it's Shakespeare compared to
when
New Trek.
Galactus can be a fucking cloud and it's still better than modern day shit.
At
what
least
are we doing?
a little bit of
What are we doing?
When Jessica Alba was visible, it was like her outfit was just as tight as it was in Honey,
so
so
mad
I
about
enjoyed
that.
it.
Jessica Alba,
okay.
one of the hottest,
I said
one of the hottest on the planet.
unicorn.
Let's make her the Invisible Woman. What?
Exactly. What a stupid
here we
idea.
go.
Gender swap that one.
I'm on my way to it now. Literally, I'm still on the bus on my way uptown area going to see the movie. Yes, dude.
You're gonna be so happy you saw it. This movie
Very
really
cool.
works. Like, let me put it this way: the acting in the movie and the story is so.
You guys are awesome. There we go.
Mike, thank you.
Oh, that
Mike,
sounds
would you
good.
agree
Yeah.
that with Godzilla, the story is so tight and the script is so perfect that like when it's not about Godzilla, like you actually care about, like if there was no Godzilla, you would still care about the people in the movie. And there's also the sign that it's a really good movie is the acting is so good and the script is so tight that you only have to look at the subtitles for confirmation. You know what they're
really
saying.
good to hear. That's pretty cool.
This was a fucking movie almost as good as it's on par with Independence Day, whether it's better or worse. It's a coin toss. It's a judgment. It's preference. Yeah, it's as good as Independence Day. It's better than Godzilla King of the Monsters by a fucking shitload. Everything about this movie is better. The human story is the best human story we've ever gotten from any Godzilla. Forget about spectacle. Like, you cared so much. You were deeply invested. Like, let me sum this movie up. A synopsis of the reason to see it without giving a spoiler in one line. Will a man find redemption by standing up against a new threat to his ad hoc family? Find out in Godzilla -1. Find out in Godzilla -1. He's a fucking manly hero. He's also an admirable hero. He's a believable hero. His wife, or whatever, his companion, the chick that he lives with, she's really real. She's believable. The movie goes from like 45 to 48. It looks cool as hell. Just like the movie powers. How long is it? Just 2 hours on the nose, maybe? An hour 55. It's like
about there,
the perfect length. They don't blow your mind too much. It costs what, $20 million, but it looks so much. It looks as good as King of the Monsters.
And practical
It
effects
looks as
Godzilla
good.
on top of that.
And you care. You care so much about the people that it's so good.
Phantom Boomer
The
says,
Godzilla
yeah,
suit is great too, by the way.
Can't do it right now. Running errands, stuck on my phone. Okay, dude. I will try to find it and put it in the chat. So
One of the
that being
Godzilla
said,
suits is a fucking monster. We'll post that link from here on in. Don't worry. When you come back, that's
like King of the
redeemable
Monsters.
forever.
I know, right?
You have to understand. You have to see this Godzilla movie. I liked it a lot. I was like, wow, they
King
finally
Ghidorah
got
is
it
my
right.
favorite villain of Godzilla, so I thought that movie did him
Apion,
justice.
when
And don't know.
when I saw
Me
that,
personally, I liked it.
I gotta be honest, it hasn't diminished how much I enjoyed King of the Monsters. It's just that much better. I loved King of the Monsters, and I still think King of the Monsters is good. This is just that much better. This Godzilla movie was like so much different, and I guess Mike, you could confirm this. At the end, whenever all the plots are coming together, like a Star Wars movie, like we got all the action and coming together, and things are like we've set up this story, and it's kind of like A New Hope. Like we have this technical thing we have to try to pull off. It's a 1 in a million, and it's kind of really cool. And it's like Independence Day that way too, which is why I say it. And Mike, am I crazy to say like it's a judgment call whether it's better than Independence Day? It's that good.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Like it is.
Tell them about the kaiju. Tell them about the kaiju.
Oh, no. I don't want to give anything away.
Explain to them how it's done. Just explain how it's done.
I already watched the Critical Drinker review, and that's
Don't tell them its powers. Tell them how they made the kaiju do what it did when it trashed the city. Tell them the kaiju's basics. It's a robot with a guy inside. It's not a guy in a monster suit. It's like a robot, and he's got like actuators, levers, and a TV screen, and like an air conditioner or some shit like that. And like when it's in the water, it's absolutely amazing. When it's on land, it's amazing again. We see the monster over and over and over. They don't make you jerk around, and it's a kind of a cool twist on the origin tale that's not offensive. See this movie. You only have one more weekend. You only have one more weekend. I'm
Wes
ruining it on
Cagle
Monday.
Wes Cagle says, yeah, best Godzilla movie ever. Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Save the Earth. Yeah. That's a pretty, yeah, it's a classic
Tough
movie,
one,
man.
'cause he's got a lot of great films.
And we got somebody new here, Obi Ringo. Yeah, oh boy.
He is who we think he is. Goodbye, Obi Ringo. It was nice. Try again next time. Go back to the shadows, flame of Udun.
He's been
So
coming in
that
and saying nasty
being
stuff for a couple days.
said, Appion, do you have anything to pitch?
I do have things to pitch.
Good.
So on Saturday,
away.
me and Stark of Iron, aka Tony Stark, everybody knows him, the Singing Man. But we're gonna be going in and talking about the first 3 Iron Man movies, and he's gonna be a special guest on my Two Guys Talking show.
Okay,
I'm doing like
fine.
special guests on that now. So we're gonna talk about that on Saturday, all the Iron Man movies, and then on Sunday I'm gonna be talking about Die Hard, the original.
Yeah.
So anyone who's free to join that, anyone's free to join that. Comic Relief, Pop, Teague, any of you guys want to join? We're gonna be shooting the shit about Die Hard and how great of an action Christmas movie that is.
And it's
'Cause it is a
connection to
Christmas film.
Commando. It's connected Commando.
I don't want people to say it's not a Christmas
stream.
film. I will defend it that it's a Christmas film till the
It's
end
a
of my
Christmas
days.
film.
It's
It's a movie that happened.
Yeah,
it is.
What,
I'm sorry.
They didn't
it
set
is.
out to make a Christmas movie, but it is.
And
He covers a guy in tinsel on an elevator, like and then he leaves a message. I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho! Like that makes it a Christmas movie right there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
Everything else
a
is
satirical Christmas movie. I'll agree. It's a heavy dose of
But
sarcasm.
That's
but it's
my
a
2
Christmas
major
movie.
things coming up.
Phantom
And that's
Boomer,
it.
I put your link in the chat right there. So if you guys can in the chat, check out Phantom Boomer, check out his channel. So try to help him get him up to 50.
Right on.
So there we
Very
go.
cool.
Go.
So anything else you got going on, Appion?
We're gonna talk about X-Men some more next week, Wolverine, and then we're gonna watch Return of the King on Wednesday. I've been doing like a watch party every week where we watch some Lord of the Rings movie extended cut. So that's happening, and that's pretty much it. Thanks, dude.
Oh, are you talking like the 3-hour extended cut?
Yeah, like
It looks like-
every version of the movie we've been watching like the longer version. Yeah. And now we're on Return of the King this coming up week. So yeah. Right before
Sweet.
Christmas for you guys, we'll be watching Return of the King on my channel. There'll be a link on there and you can watch it with us and follow along and enjoy it. Such a great film.
Awesome.
I just tried to sub Phantom Boomer. I think maybe the link is wrong. It seems to come back to you. It seems to lead in a circle. Check
I'll check it.
I just pulled up Phantom Boomer's page and I was able to subscribe to it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
looks like-
Really?
Yeah.
I'm doing it in the YouTube chat and it's coming. Here we go. Yeah, I was hitting the wrong part. It's like really
gotcha.
small.
Okay.
All right,
Pop
you've
Culture
got like
Republic.
at least 44 subscribers by now.
There you go. Pop Culture Republic. What do you got going on, dude?
I'm still working on my outlines for my next few live streams coming up. I may continue this discussion about the comic book industry, but I'm going to look at the, shall we say, the parallel comic book industry, the ones that are actually making good books and having success. I'm going to look at some of their Indiegogo campaigns or whatnot that they have out there and look at some of the artwork and what might be worth checking out.
Okay.
So that's going to be pretty interesting. I want to look at all these creators who are kind of disenfranchised from the mainstream comic industry, who have gone out on their own, producing their own books.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you've got the big giant and you've got everybody else. You got the big kids in the playground walking around kicking sand in everybody else's faces, stealing lunch money, all that. And then you've got
Exactly.
everybody else who are like disenfranchised, who are striking out on their own, making their own books. So,
right.
Yeah, I want to look at some of their campaigns, see what they're doing. Let's see.
And it can't keep going on like that.
Yeah,
just
it can't. The
Yeah.
industry cannot keep going on as it is, not
Exactly.
without slowly dying, because we have an industry that is slowly dying because they're deaf to
Slowly?
everybody else's slowly. They're deaf to everybody else's concerns. Like shop owners can't sell the books. The books, they're either they're flying. The good ones are flying off the shelves. The bad ones are just gathering dust, and it's affecting the retail industry. It's affecting shop owners, and by extension, it's affecting the comic industry as a whole. Because if you can't sell books,
Exactly.
your only recourse is to continue blaming the fans, blaming the shop owners, pretty much ignoring your own faults.
Yep.
I mean,
That's
I
right.
don't know. I don't know what will happen if they don't course correct, if they don't have some kind of realization that what they're doing is tanking the industry.
Yeah. And
They
yes,
might not
Penny-
even realize it.
That's right. Yeah. Have you heard about Vindicated Inc. By Gary Kissel? Yep. I have totally 100% because I know Gary and
We're friends
you
with
know,
Gary.
awesome guy. And you know what?
I am an investor.
I'm going
investor in
to I'm going to bring him on the show so we can talk about his book. And yeah, I funded it because Gary he's an ex-vet.
He's got a great YouTube channel.
And
Pop Culture
and-
Minefield, our pals.
And this book is very real. It's basically like he said, if Batman were a real person and how he would do it, basically, is what this book is about. So yeah.
Right on.
I will try to have Gary on soon so he can plug his book. So
I'm
yeah.
looking that up right now. I've got that pulled up right now.
Oh yeah, I would
Very
definitely
cool.
Throw that link in the
definitely do
chat.
that. Phantom Outsider comic book side. When I stopped, I at one point was buying about 60 titles a month. Now 0. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Same here. Tell me more how great modern crap is. Exactly. And you know what? With the whole
Exactly.
Whisper Network, I'll get more into it on Tuesday. How about that? We'll get more to it on Tuesday because there's a lot going on, it seems like. So, and I want to totally 100% do that. So,
It's a really good band.
I just threw
I just
something
wanna-
in the private chat. I wasn't sure if
There
that
we go.
was the right link or not.
I just want to
believe
say
it is
Whisper,
the right link. Yes.
Whisper Network is an awesome punk band name.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Oh,
sounds like
gotcha.
it.
Gotcha.
So,
Whisper Network.
Yep.
Let me whisper in your ear. Give me some.
Yeah.
yep. No, that's totally 100% the right.
Let the bodies
right-
hit the floor.
Right on.
That's the right link. Yep. So everybody out there in the chat, yeah, check out Gary Kessel's work.
Yeah,
And there's
I've
a-
actually seen. I think I've seen this before. This looks cool.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Hey, Penny. Hello. Hello. And there's the Pop
Um,
Culture Minefield channel for YouTube is also the links in there. They're great too. All right, Spock
Yep.
Elvis, we know who you fucking are. I mean, get a life.
Okay. Well, Spock, don't know who you are, but you know, try not to badger everybody that's in the chat or on the panel. you know. It's cool, man.
I know who he is.
Okay.
We know exactly who it is.
Okay. Anyway, Teague, you got anything that you want to plug?
Yes, I would like to plug Spock Elvis's mom's mouth. Also,
Okay.
I'll be on a little bit later with
I love how I'm right after Spock Elvis's mouth.
Yeah. I'd like to be on. I'd like if you want to join me later on my show, Saving Star Trek. That's my channel. I'm Admiral Teague. Also, you can catch Teague live Also, I'll be on after this in about 1 hour from now, because let's face it, I need to get all friskied up for yet another 2 hour bout before you guys all get to listen to Doomcock and Friday Night Follies. But I'll be on from 6:30 to 8:30 and taking your Star Trek questions, and maybe we'll concentrate a little bit on what I was going to do this morning. But now have to, or come up with a whole new game plan. We'll see what happens. But check it out later, guys. About 1 hour. I just need some time to get my head together.
He's getting in on my way, walking outside, still listening to technology, loving Godzilla. Yeah, he's there. He's getting there. He's almost at the theater. He's gonna enjoy it. Tom, I swear to God, you will absolutely love Godzilla -1. I swear to God, and I know that after you see it in the theater now, you're going to be like, messaging me. It's like, dude, that was so awesome. So there we go.
Mike, just real quick. When he starts attacking and they're playing his original kaiju music and the new twist on it, but it's not different at all, really. It's just much more well recorded and sort of, and updated. Isn't it just like, wow? And it's like, I didn't think you could wow a middle-aged man the way you could a little kid with a monster movie. It was fucking great.
I know. As soon as they play the music, it's like, oh God, yes, it's classic. It brings up classic Godzilla in the cockles of your heart.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh yes. It just brings it all back. It's so good. So, but you guys, because I have to get back to my mom because she called earlier before the show, about that, and so I am going to get back to her. For any of you guys that were asking, Dad's still in the hospital. He's doing okay. He just wants to go home. Is expected to do some physio because his knees are weak and stuff like that. So, for any of you guys that were asking out there in on Facebook or in the Twitter sphere, he's doing all right. He's doing a bit better. He just wants to go home. So to all of you guys in the chat, thank you very much for stopping on by. Really appreciate you guys. Please hit the like button and the notification bell and the subscribe button. Make sure you're subscribed. Really, really appreciate it. And for you guys over that are still listening on Rumble, all you 8 people, take part in the chat. Let me know that you're there, and subscribe to the channel. Follow the channel as well. So because I would really appreciate it. Yeah.
And follow Admiral Teague on Rumble, please.
And follow all of these guys. Exactly. Follow all of these guys that are on this panel. They would also greatly appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And to Fandom Boomer as well. So help them get up to 50 people. So if you guys can. So all of you guys in the chat and you guys here on the panel, thanks for joining in. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And we will see you on a Titillating Tuesday. So from all of us, get your Christmas shopping done, and we will see you soon.
Love, peace.
See ya.
Later, guys.
Bye.